Anybody remember what happened last session?
Bob wasn't leveled properly at the beginning.
Yes, Bob wasn't leveled properly at the beginning. Yeah, we spent a lot of time doing that. Some shocking too. But what actually happened? What events in the game had happened?
We had finished off the boys at Valor's Fastness, and we had let the civilians go and basically ran amok in the town. The town was partying their faces off to declare their new protectorate state, and we basically started shoring all that up, influencing council members, getting stuff in place, getting our bureaucracy all set.
That is all accurate. Yeah, and we wrapped up a couple of other storylines. You guys have made a lot of friends in town. You didn't go through and slaughter everybody like maybe the book recommended in the beginning. But yeah, you made a bunch of friends, and Vors now has an intercity drug empire. They're two small towns; they're not giant cities or anything yet. But he's got a cook with some halfling friends who are helping him make some drugs, and he's got a distributor down here in Longacre, Arden the halfling. He owns. You just own him, right? That's straight up.
Yeah, just own him.
Yeah, you have the paperwork, so he's yours. That's how this works. Yeah, so you have a distributor that you own, but you are exceedingly nice to, and basically said, like, as long as you keep paying me and don't fuck this up, you do what you want here. And Arden was extremely happy to have this arrangement. You've been gone for about a month and a half, and in that time, he's basically been free here in Longacre for all intents and purposes. Even though at any time you can do whatever you want because that's how this all works. But again, you're wandering around doing adventurer things, and he's just living his life in Longacre, trying not to fuck it up. And yeah, we wrapped up a bunch of other loose ends there. I forget anything interesting to you guys specifically, or anything you want to mention?
Thank you for having Jana get bored with me so that we didn't have to have an awkward goodbye.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. That's part of her character. She's a party girl who gets bored with things very quickly.
Jenna is, how do we put this? A hoe.
She's a hooer. A little bit, yeah.
Nothing wrong with slut life, man. Don't shame.
Yeah, no shaming. No shame in the game. It's fine. But yeah, she is what she is, and they did what they did, and that's it. They parted ways.
He is who she is.
She is who she is.
Jesus.
All right. And then you guys were, Rosalago interrupted your party and everything and basically said that Fex is in,
Were the water druids last time? Or was that?
Yeah. That was last time, yeah. Rosalago basically said, hey, Fex is an Agorian. He's going to be filing the paperwork for the protectorate status. He kind of interjected himself, or, injected himself in between the layers, basically, instead of just being Cantaria and then the Empire, he's kind of inserted himself. He's inserted himself in the middle so that he's taking the tribute from Cantaria, taking his cut, and then giving it to the Empire, what's left. But in doing so, he's basically saying that he will step up and he'll help defend this in court with all his lawyers that he has there, and also kind of just vouch for the town. Like it's basically under his jurisdiction now, but it is being run as Nero has written it out in the document. Fex couldn't give a shit. As long as he's getting his money, he doesn't care if they have a town council or whatever it is, as long as he's getting paid and they're not rocking the boat. And what was Nero said? He said it was a comfortable yoke for good oxen, and Fex saw value in that. Rosalago hated the whole idea. He said, this is not how things are run, you guys are insane, but it's not my place to question. And when you got to talk to Fex, he's like, this is great, I'm totally fine with this. So Rosalago said, hey, go back to Longacre. In 3 weeks, Fex will be back. So you guys took a riverboat down. You bumped into the diplomat that tried to run away. You found her. She was also trying to take a riverboat. So you ran her down first, and you captured her. That's what Mike was talking about earlier. We're going to do something like that a little bit later, maybe. But then you got your own riverboat, and you came down, and along the way you fought an octopus and 2 water druids on the boat. And you slaughtered the crap out of all that stuff. It did grab Vors by the foot and try to pull him in the water after Bob intimidated and scared the hell out of the octopus. It tried to run away with Vors attached to it. And luckily the little gnome has some range on her, and she was able to knock him unconscious right before he got away. Another round of running, and I think he would have been gone with Vors. But yeah, you guys managed to kill the octopus, and you had a bunch of squid, or You had octopus food. I did not do that. I had a note to look up the value of that. You sold it in Dakarium to a bunch of fishermen. This giant squid that should not have been in the river. And you made some money there, but I don't have a number for you yet. I'll do that later.
No worries, man.
And then you finally got to Longacre. You walked for a while, and you finally got here. And you found the town basically the same as you left it a month and a half ago. Not much has changed at all. It's a really small, sleepy town in the middle of nowhere. Notably, Simri has left. Simri Stalish, the first person you had contact with that kind of got you your first job working for Rosalago. The whole time she was saying she was trying to save up money to get out of this tiny-ass town, and she did. Seems like she's vanished. No one knows where she went, and that's about it. Anybody else in town of note? Tealan and Aguria, she had some talk with, both of them talked to Iwan a little bit, and we did some more stuff on the Google group over the week. And then you guys met with Fex. And he basically asked for a recap, even though he got his little mind meld thing from Rosalago. He asked you for a couple of key points. And you guys explained what happened, left out a couple of details, but mostly gave him a good summary. And then he introduced Corrector Azenio, which is an Inquisitor of Asmodeus. And he's also a bound agent of Thrune, which is the highest level of this little ladder you guys have been climbing. So he was there specifically to indoctrinate you guys into the next level of Thrune-ship, which is the Thrune Trusted Agent. Blech. So you're going from Loyal Agent to Trusted Agent. And he got out his brand and he asked you all to say a vow to swear your mind and body to Queen Abigail and House Thrune. And he went over all of you, and the brand was cold, it didn't burn you or anything like that. And he basically put it on your runes and upgraded you guys. Nero declined the upgrade at the time. He's unsure of himself and his relation to the God Claw and Thrune. So he did decline, but everybody else accepted it, including Bobby, who... Azenio gave you some shit because he noticed you're decked out in Moloch shit. You've got the fanboy shirt on and the hammer and all the stuff. And he's like... Yeah, your armor has a giant bull's head on it because that's how you defamed it, and the hammer does too. They're Moloch branded items. You're very obviously a priest of Moloch, and he's like, "How many masters can you serve?" And you were like, 2. You just intimidated him into making you believe, "Yeah, I can do both of these things. That's fine." And Azenio, he didn't really accept that, but the way you scared him into it, he's like, "Okay, that's fine with me." And, so he branded you all, and you all got that feat you went over last time. You get a bonus on reflex and will saving throws if you're next to your buddies. And you can forego that to help them use the aid another option to make them super powerful for one round or whatever it is. So he did that, and then he left. And like I said before, he's staying in Fex's Manor for a couple of days, so you can get in touch with him later if you really need to for some reason. And once he leaves, Fex and Rosalago begin to talk to you some more. And Fex had said, when Rosalago summoned you, he said that Fex had a new job for you, had a new errand he'd like you to run that you guys would be perfect for. And he told you to bring your new Moloch friend as well, who they didn't know previously. So Fex has you sit down, and like I said, Azenio has left. And you're in his study. It's this nice, very elaborate, very richly appointed wooden room, very expensive furniture all around you. And he says, somewhere in the Whisperwood, not far from the city of Sonara, there is a portal to hell. The locals call it the Inferno Gate, an apt name if their harried descriptions of the site are true. The portal connects to the 6th layer of the pit, Malaboge, the realm of Moloch and his infernal armies. And he turns to Bob. Why don't you make a knowledge religion check, Bob, to see what you know about the place where your god lives?
Sure, yeah.
Do you have any ranks in that?
I think
you
I
do!
do!
You put one in! You put one in! I'm so proud of you.
Finally did it.
Alright. Bob, you rolled a 1, but you have a 4, so you got a 5, Bob. So you know almost nothing. You're pretty sure that's where your god lives. You don't think he's lying to you about that. You've heard that word. A priest around you has said that word. It seems like that's a part of hell, and he's there. Let's see. Vors rolled decently well. Iwan rolled pretty well. So Vors, you do believe everything he says, that, this is a place of hell, this is where Moloch's armies are. And you and Iwin both know that Moloch is like a general in Hell's armies. He's subservient to Asmodeus, but I think, as I said before, if he could rise to power, he would. Like, there's nothing stopping him from becoming the leader of Hell, except for the fact that Asmodeus is stronger and has more influence. So, in the meantime, Moloch, Bob's patron, is just like the leader of one of Hell's armies. Like, he's like a general or whatever you want to call him. So Fex is saying that there is a portal to Hell that leads to this place, leads to the source of Moloch's armies. So his eyes linger on Bob, who's making. How do you react to that, Bob? So you don't know exactly what he's talking about. What kind of face would you make?
Like a cautiously excited face.
Okay. Yeah, so his eyes linger on you for a moment, just kind of trying to suss out your reaction to this. And you say you look cautiously excited, so he's interested in that reaction. So he says, as I'm sure you can imagine, he begins turning back to Nero, who's the more stable one in his mind, the one he's built a relationship with. As I'm sure you can imagine, House Thrune is not interested in uncontrolled devils roaming the Whisperwood and dragging Chelish citizens to hell. Not without the Queen having a say in the matter, at any rate. Unfortunately, the complexities of our beloved monarchy prevent Thrune from handling the matter directly. He looks to you as if, do you understand what he's trying to say?
Understood. So we'll need to be discreet again.
He nods. He says, like, at any rate, don't be brandishing sigils of the house. But he says, that is indeed why I've summoned you here. I want you to go to the Whisperwood, locate the Inferno Gate, and shut it down. Such a bold deed committed by my most favored agents, so close on the heels of our successes here in Longacre and in Cantaria, is certain to impress House Thrune and increase both my own prestige and yours in the eyes of our superiors.
Bob starts petting his hammer.
Okay. Fex glances at you momentarily, but then returns to Nero. And then his eyes go also to Iwin and Vors to see how they're reacting to what he said so far.
So Iwan would be somewhat unimpressed and would kind of say something along the lines of, you want us to spend time shutting down a hellish gate instead of these cities that have fallen to the glorious reclamation doing anything about that? This is spreading like a virus. Don't we need to shut that shit down?
He nods and he says, Sonara is quite a loss for the Empire, and it'll take much more than even a team of your power to take the entire city back. The Glorious Reclamation has thrown everything they had at that city, and it is now well defended. The Chelish army is in tatters and retreating, and they will be rebuilding and trying to retake Sonara as soon as they can, but it may be a good time yet. In the meantime, I do think this is a worthy endeavor for us.
All right, well, I'm sure it isn't as easy as go there and close it. What are the details?
He says, yes, indeed. He's like, I've already done extensive research on the portal, and the ritual to close the gate requires a number of components that you'll need to gather. I've already acquired the first component, an infernal talisman, which I left in my townhouse in Sonara for safekeeping. Unfortunately, as you know, Sonara has recently fallen to the Glorious Reclamation, and a titled noble such as myself would be arrested on sight. He says, I have no doubt that you can get into the city with minimal effort and get out with the talisman. And he says, I'm not interested in retaking Sonara. It's far too well defended like I said before, for a group as you. It's too well defended at this moment. And I don't think, I think the town is too large for your propaganda techniques to work as effectively as they had in the past. Once inside the city, you can retrieve the talisman from my townhouse. It's a quaint little manor on a hill that you can't miss. My butler, her name is Bessie or Billy or something like that, I believe, will meet you and give you whatever you need. You're welcome to stay there, but don't linger in town too long. You still need the other components before closing the gate. And he hands you a piece of paper. and it has ritual components listed on it. I will paste that for you. Do 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 do. All right. Ritual.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Do we know in Cantaria, did the Glorious Reclamation with like any of the places they took, did they rate it at all? Like, would we have any reason to believe, based on what we saw, that they would be in possession of the talisman?
It's possible. You don't think that? Let's see. So in Cantaria, I don't know if they did any raiding because they had their own fortress, so they didn't like. Well, Narcapolis Manor was occupied.
Right.
You know.
But did they leave all the stuff there, or did it seem like they like, took stuff out of the manor, or did they mostly leave stuff where it was?
The manor did seem to be intact. When you first met with Zane there, you remember there was like fine furniture and a piano and things like that were there. They didn't take them and sell them or anything like that. It was looted after the Reclamation began to fall and Zane moved out. The townsfolk looted it.
Yeah.
But the Glorious Reclamation did not loot the manor.
Okay.
In your experience, and I don't know if you know anything else about the other cities that have fallen. Yeah, so Fex hands you a piece of paper with the ritual component list. The first is the Infernal Talisman we just talked about. 1 Agathian heart, 1 Angel heart, 1 Archon heart, and 1 Azada heart, and 4 Unicorn horns. And Fex will further explain... in order to close the portal, we need the hearts of 4 different good Celestials: Agathion, Angel, Archon, and Azada. A summoned Celestial, along with its heart, will just return to its home plane when killed, so these must be from Celestials physically present here on this plane. And obviously you guys have dealt with stuff like this. You've seen that. Each of the hearts must then be impaled upon the horn of a unicorn, so we'll need 4 of those as well. Rosalago will inform me when you have all the components, and I will join you at the Inferno Gate for the ritual.
If only we'd known before. This one here might have been able to procure one of them for us already.
I assumed a couple angels. Could have taken out the hearts, too.
I assume that they're going to be too far gone to be useful, yeah, Iwan?
I would imagine so. How fresh do these hearts need to be?
Fairly fresh. And the Archon that you have that's a zombie now, that's no good because it's undead. But also, if you bring up the angels specifically, Fex will say that those are too small. You need something larger than that. The Choral Angels are not powerful enough beings.
Yes.
All right, well,
Time to start hunting.
Suppose we're headed to Sonara.
Okay. He nods and asks you if there's anything else you guys would like to know, or any questions you have, or...
Did everybody else get their loot from him?
Yeah, he's going to do that now. Your rewards are Vors. He's giving you a special scroll. You can add a +1 to your weapon, however you like it. Iwan, he gives you the Mocking Skull, which is like an alarm, a floating skull that is an alarm and does some cool stuff, cackles at people. And Nero is getting a block of Incense of Meditation. Yeah, and Bob, you don't get anything because Fex doesn't know who you are, and you didn't have an agreement with him earlier, so he doesn't have any presents for you.
Rude. You should only bring enough if you have.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Interesting.
Well, like Bob's definitely huffing those incense, right?
Well, it's Nero's. You got to do it.
Spellcaster.
You could. You're not a primary spellcaster though. It maximizes all of your spells for a day, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's really good for blasters. I'm interested to see how Nero ends up using it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Anyway, yeah. So he gives you all your little presents, and he explains that this is what needs to be done. He looks around at all of you to ask do you have any more questions?
I'm sure the Razalaga will have preparatory material for us about the layout of Sonara, where your manor house is, all that good stuff.
He nods and says that yes, and also he will be accompanying you the entire time as an observer, and he will inform me when the ritual is ready. When you found the gate and are ready to prepare the ritual.
All right. I'm sure I have a book on this somewhere. I'll have to look.
Why don't you give me a knowledge check, Mr. Nozick?
Sure. I'll do that crazy take 20 with 20 extra on it. So
How do you do? Is that the one where you have to black out?
he blacks out for 1 to 6 rounds. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d6. Now I'm curious to see how long you black out in the middle of this conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, 4 rounds, so that's like 24 seconds. For like half a minute, you black out thinking on the Inferno gate. And trying to figure out what it is. Like, do you remember what this is about? And you rolled with a plus 20 knowledge history. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. Not great, but not bad. Not your best roll. But Vor studies fixed. Yeah, so you know a bit about the history of the Inferno Gate. You know that hundreds of years ago, during the Chelish expansion of the known as the Ever War, which is one of the first wars of Imperial conquest of Chelax when it first got big, there was a prison camp called Fort Arago. Yeah, Arago. Fort Arago. Somewhere in the Whisperwood. You don't remember exactly where. It's kind of lost to time at this point. But there was a prison riot there. It's like they had a bunch of enemies of the state were being kept in this prison, and there was a riot that the guards were losing control of the prison. And in order to regain control of the prison, a devil showed up and offered them a bargain, as devils are wont to do. And they basically agreed that they could have infernal help to shut down the prison riot. They would summon some devils, shut down the prison riot, and everything would be great. So the devil opened a portal to hell and basically said, okay, all my minions came in, killed a bunch of the rioting prisoners, got everything back in line, locked everybody back up, and it was too late by the time the guards noticed that their agreement did not specify the duration of how long the portal would be open, and it never shut. So basically they opened this portal to hell, and in the fiendish bargain, it was there forever now. And once they noticed that, they began to turn on the devil because they wanted this was bad. And the devil basically cursed all of them and made them some sort of weird creatures. And that you're not sure what, but you remember they were definitely cursed, and the fort was lost to antiquity. So basically this happened. It's now an open portal to hell, and it's somewhere in the forest, and no one knows exactly where it is.
Good.
And Vors, you're sensing motives. What are you trying to discern with Mr. Fex?
Just his like see if there's any like nefarious, like I don't know. Basically, I just want to see like if he's withholding anything or if he's like trying to mislead us in any way.
Of course he is. Half truths.
Yeah, you think he's being genuine. You think that he does believe that closing this gate will bring him notoriety. Although he is a noble, he is still sort of a minor noble. He's ruling backwater towns like this. So you do believe that this portal exists, that shutting it would be in the interest of the Empire. The Queen probably does want this to happen, and that he and you would both gain prestige by closing this. So you don't pick up any nefarious overtones or anything like that.
Does any of that change with a +2 on there?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So Razalago looks at you and basically nods as if like, are you ready to go?
Seems so.
Okay.
I'd like to catch a Xenio before he heads off. Can you point me in his direction?
Razalago nods and says, I will show you to his chamber. Little baby hands always wiggling. And yeah, so he floats by. He's like, he has little buzzy wings, and he flies, and he'll take you to a Xenio's chamber on the way out. Is everybody going with Nero?
Of course. I don't know. Boris would kind of look at Nero and see if he wants company.
It doesn't matter.
All right, Boris can let him.
Yeah. If everybody else is going with him, that's fine. So yeah, you move through Fex's manor, and it's a large, expansive estate. It's one of the biggest buildings you've seen. Much bigger than than Arcapolis Manor. He's spared no expense at his own private house. And he takes you around to one of the wings where Ezenio is staying temporarily. And he just gestures to the door. He doesn't even introduce you. He just kind of gestures towards the door.
I'm sorry, Joe. When does Fex want us to leave?
He didn't specify, but as soon as possible would be good. He's in no rush. The portal is open.
Right. And how long is travel to Sonara from here?
That's a good question. If you took, I think it's called the Whisperwood Road, it would take you, and if you were on horseback, it would take you 3, 4, 5, like 6 days on horseback.
Okay. And how far is that from Cantaria? Is it further from Cantaria? Closer to Cantaria?
It's away from Cantaria. Cantaria is to the west. Sonara is northeast, and
Okay.
Cantaria is much further away.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so Rosalago has pointed you towards Ezenio's door, but he's not disturbing the Inquisitor himself.
Thank you, Rosalago.
He kind of just moves back and flaps in the background with the others.
So he'll knock on the door.
Ezenio says, "Enter."
And I will go in.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Anyone else coming?
Horse is there.
That's Ezenio. He's a token under you guys if you haven't seen it yet. He's an Inquisitor of Modius and a bound agent of Thrune. And he looks up and says, "Yes, what can I do for you?"
Does everyone come in?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Nero will close the door on Rosalago.
Understood.
I wanted to take a moment before you left. I think maybe you might be the person I should entrust this person to.
He looks up curiously. Which person? Who?
The Glorious Reclamation were negotiating with Andoran.
Yeah, Andoran. Yeah.
And there was a diplomat from the rogue state there.
His eyes move from a curious tone to a very serious and stern gaze, and he says, "Negotiating with the diplomat of Andoran, that's a serious charge. You've captured the diplomat?"
We brought her with us.
And his face turns to a smirk. Says, the Queen would be very interested in knowing this. What have you learned from her so far?
We haven't garnered too much information except what she gave us, and what she gave us mainly was that she came there to negotiate with the Glorious Reclamation. They confined her to quarters when the town started to turn against them. And when we let her loose, I planned on questioning her when she retreated to the town. Instead, she engaged a riverboat and escaped the town.
Hmm. Interesting. And you managed to catch her?
We riverboat in the short term is no match for a horse.
He nods. He says, "That's very very interesting. Where is she now?"
We have her restrained at the jailhouse.
All right. So understood. And so all right. So are you turning her over to the Queen now? Are you turning her over to me to bring to Agorian?
I was thinking I would, but I wanted to get your opinion on something now that I know we're going to Sonara ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We met some people who were very adept at disguise, who could very easily, with a few days' study of this woman, provide a pretty good likeness and maybe be able to garner more info on what's going on in Sonara, which might be very valuable to the Queen.
And you see him pause for a moment. He begins stroking he's got stubble on his face. He begins stroking his stubble. And he says, that could be an interesting proposal. How good at disguise are these people?
Exceptional. I've never seen anyone that could match.
He nods and he says, "Perhaps. How long would they need, and where are they?"
They're in. I would have to send for them. They're in Cantaria. But I might be able to, if I got them headed here now, and we perhaps took the slow walk to Sonara, they might be able to meet us there.
Understood. And you see him, he's thinking on it for a moment. So you'd have me wait here with her while you head to Sonara?
I was thinking that would be the idea, or we could take her with us, or we could spend some time learning more of what she knows before we leave.
And you see him, he's thinking real hard on it, and he shakes his head and he says, like, I definitely prefer to stay with her, so I could take her to the Queen myself, but spending more time in Longacre than I need to is. And he shakes his head. He's like, the entire town smells like pig shit and sawdust.
I could certainly I could almost certainly offer you better accommodations while you stay here if you were interested.
Well, he's staying in the Fex's Manor. I don't think you can,
Okay.
actually.
Oh, okay.
Even here, it smells like pig shit and sawdust.
Fair enough.
It's the whole town.
There's a reason why the family manor is outside of town. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Fex is too, I guess. But when he's in town, it smells like pig shit and sawdust. It was just mostly a joke.
Sure.
But he's saying he would stay here in Longacre with her if you like, and he can wait for whoever you want to meet and whoever your disguise masters are.
Sure. They're very secretive of their methods, so they'd probably need time alone with her. But if they're amenable, it would be a great asset.
Okay, he nods. He says, "How will I know them if they come to town?"
I would. If I'll send a message probably with Rosalago, and if they accept, I'll have them find you.
He nods. He says, "Understood. This does sound like an interesting idea." And and he says, "I can wait here a week if that's what it takes."
Vors, do you think that we could interest them?
There would be a price in blood, but I'm sure our associates would be amenable.
All right. Well, let's send a missive and see what we can scare up with Rosalago.
All right. Let me make a note here because that's very interesting and cool. Let's make a note. Okay. All right. So you told him that she's tied up at the jail, so he's going to take custody of her at this point and wait for your spy friends, your disguise friends in town. Do you have any other business with Zenio? Anybody? Okay. Well, he thanks you again. Kind of somberly, he nods, said, "This is a great service you've done for Cheliax, and I'll make sure that the Queen and the proper authorities know it was you and your friends who brought her to us."
Excellent. I'll write it down so that you remember it. There's a ship captain who was integral in her capture, and I promised that I'd pass his name along as well.
Oh, he nods. Oh, certainly. You're referring to Jonas, right?
Yeah. The captain of the ship who.
I'm sorry, the captain. Yeah, okay.
Give me your.
Yeah, okay. Captain.
Doesn't matter.
Rodrigo, I believe it is. Captain Rodrigo.
Even his word.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah, so he nods and says, "I'll make sure that he is properly rewarded as well."
Before I go, please make sure you pass along my regret at not accepting this offer at this time. I think that in the future, everything is going to align such that all of our interests align. But with the Godclaw and the state it's in, I feel it better to wait for now.
He chuckles a bit and says, "Most of the Hell Knight orders seem to have declared themselves neutral in this latest Chelish civil war. Only the Order of the Pike and the Pyre have openly declared their loyalty to Thrun."
I would imagine that if we are able to reassemble the scattered members of the Godclaw, they're going to declare very in the affirmative for Queen Abigail.
He nods and says, "Your order among all the others has the most reason to. They've destroyed you. They sit now in your citadel."
The travesty. One that I hope to write.
I hope you do. And he nods and says, I will inform her of your reluctance as when I inform her of everybody else's acceptance."
Thank you.
And he nods again, somberly, not bowing deeply, just kind of a low nod. Anybody else have any stuff for Xenia? All right. Well, then he's done. And you guys come outside, and Rosalago's still flapping outside there, waiting for you. And he gestures like, come on. And like Nas implied, he does have like a little bit of information for you, like just to get ready for your travels.
Sure.
So I'm going to take you to another map real quick. Come over here. Bop. All right. Let me know when that loads. It should be pretty quick, I think.
Yes, done.
All right. So this is a hex map of the Whisperwood, and I'm gonna just copy all the move the people around here so you have tokens if you need to do stuff. So I use Nero's token as the party. If you have a better idea for an icon for the party, I will change it. But for now, it is Nero. So you guys are here in Longacre, and if you click on the stars, those are towns, and you can see their names. So this is Longacre. This is Remisiana. Are you from Remisiana, Vors? Were you there for a while, or seem to remember that in your story?
I don't remember. Dude. Yeah, let me look. It sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar, yeah. And Sonara's up here. So there you go. So the primary way to get to Sonara is to take the Whisperwood Way, which is this road here through the forest. But you can also, if you want, you could go down to Remisiana and go up again. You could also take a riverboat if you like. All of those are valid options. So for this hex map, one hex is 25 miles. Assuming you have horses, because you all came in on horses or mounted things, you can basically, if you're just walking through hexes, you can do 2 hexes a day, like on a road, basically. If you're just walking, you can spend 8 hours a day mounted up, moving around, and you move through 2 hexes doing that. You can also push yourself to go more than that in a day, but there are associated checks with that, because you and your mounts can get exhausted. So that's just straight up movement. If you want to explore hexes, like look around inside them, look for things, and try to find stuff, you have to basically spend the entire day in one single hex, just going around everywhere and making survival and perception checks. So this is the Whisperwood. This will be where you are exploring for the majority of this campaign. And your first goal is to go to Sonara, supposedly, but you also have a list of material components you can try to find along the way, before, after, during, whatever. So Rosalago gives you a bit of information. He says that along the way towards Sonara, there is a citadel to a Hell Knight order you might be interested in. And he says over here, letter G I just made appear on the map, is Citadel Ordeal, which is the Order of the Pike, I believe. Yes, it's the Citadel for the Order of the Pike Hell Knight Order. And they are specifically like monster hunters. So this forest in general is filled with monsters and devils and other wild animals, and they go out of their way to like post bounties on these sort of monsters and hunt them themselves to kind of fulfill the bounties as well. So they're a whole order of monster hunters, and Rosalago says that if you need help finding these components, like where's an angel, where's an Azada, they would be the most likely people to know.
Good to know.
So he advises you take that road towards Sonara.
Good to know.
Anything else you want to talk to Rosalago about, or any questions you have?
Nero would basically put it as diplomatically as possible that he hates to use him as a courier, but they might need someone from Cantaria. We have some people who are very useful there who might be able to help us in navigating Sonara.
You can see the disdain on his little baby face with his red compound eyes. You can see he shakes his head, and he does not enjoy being used in such a capacity. But he informs you again that Fex has ordered me to serve you, and he will do this.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm certain that this diplomat has some long hours in front of her. And when we have downtime in Sonara, I'm sure that Zenio would love to let you watch what goes on.
He's very happy with that. Yeah, that piques his interest. Yeah, he says it's been so long, and again his little hands begin to tent and worm around in his body. It's been so long. I haven't seen a corrector work in years.
I'll put in a good word with you with Zenio, as my way of making amends for using you as a courier.
He nods, and he seems perfectly amenable to this now. He's no longer just serving you. That seems like a worthy reward. He can just teleport back to Longacre to watch this diplomat get worked. All right. All right. So you guys are free to do what you want. You're in Longacre. You can make whatever preparations you want to leave. Do you have a goal in mind? You're going to wander around? You're going to head to Sonara? What would you like to do?
Boris, I was thinking we'd prepare a letter to Linton and see if we can get maybe Oth or one of the others to come up.
Certainly.
All right. Are you offering anything, or are you just asking them to do this?
I'm sure there'll be plenty of blood boys.
Well, and realistically, if there's a price to be paid, we can certainly negotiate one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Understood.
We're not looking to abuse anyone. We're not looking to use you without fair compensation.
And just to be clear, they do have their share of blood boys now. Like when you guys finished in the fastness, a lot of those unconscious living Glorious Reclamation soldiers, they were just gone. So they have their share of blood boys now. A lot of
so they know we're good for it.
Yeah, it's true. All right, yeah. So we'll make sure that in the letter it basically says that negotiation for payment or whatever is available. Yeah, so you'll send that off, and you'll just send a letter just on a riverboat, or are you sending it any specific way?
I was going to send it with Rosalago.
Got it. Teleporting over. Got it.
And then Rosalago can take whatever back, and we can do a back and forth over a couple of days or whatever.
Sure. Understood. Okay. Yeah, so Rosalago agrees to do that for you. But you do tell him Linton specifically? Like, you let him know that Linton's the person to give the letter to, or...
Yes.
We'd have to.
Okay. All right. He will do that.
And Nero writes the letter in such a way that it's terse, and if you read it, you wouldn't be able to immediately divine.
Understood.
You're not going to be able to figure out by reading it that he's a changeling or whatever. Faceless stalker.
Understood. All right. Okay. So you guys are good to go. Anything else you want to do in Longacre? Anything you want to wrap up there before heading out?
Nero's going to check in with his fam. Nero's going to try and get the diplomat talking, see what he can divine, based on what her papers are and that sort of stuff, and probably will do his conspiracy theory thing and just ask questions about figuring out what she was doing, what's the best way to go about this.
Okay. You want to do that offline, or you want to do that now?
Whatever you want. Offline's fine.
Nero divinations about yeah. Yeah, so a lot of it, we'll go over it in the group, but you do get the idea that this was a kind of an a beginning of an introduction. They didn't have any ongoing deals planned. This was hey, I see you're actually making headway in this civil war of yours, and you're leaning democratic. We're in Doran, we're over here, we can help you. But we'll elaborate on that on the group some more. All right. So, what would you guys like to do?
Well, are we trying to buy time to be joined by folks? Like, are we going to take a casual stroll up there?
Could any we'll work out word with Linton and that sort of stuff, and sort of take it easy getting there, I suppose, or get to the Citadel and wait there.
Nice. What does Forrest know about this area?
Smart.
A decent amount. You have any specific questions, or?
I mean, like, do we know where to like find unicorns generally, and like those sorts of things?
Okay. You don't know about unicorns specifically, but just in general, you can see there are some labels on the map. So you are aware that the Whisperwood is divided into 5 unofficial kind of subsections. The closest one to you is called the Murmurs. And the road that goes to the north towards the Citadel is called the Whisperwood Way, and it is the safest bet for travelers headed between Longacre and Sonara. Off these roads in the forest themselves, there are lots of bandits. So if you're heading out around here, there's lots of talk about bandits and robbers and river pirates and stuff like that. That's the Murmurs. Scarhurst up here to the north. It is the northwest arm, and takes its name from Scar Thicket, a tangled region of fungus-choked woods that supposedly contains an entrance to the Darklands, which is like another realm where drow and other horrible monsters live. Scarhurst is also infamous for the Pillar of Palmaya, which is an ancient basalt obelisk that stands near the wood's northern edge. This is very like untamed land, so there's lots of wild animals and other dangers out there. Hellspawn Dale over here just to the west of Sonara. You rolled pretty well. So Hellspawn Dale is named for the high population of tieflings in Sonara. So remember Victor Scave was a tiefling? It's like when a devil has mates with a human, or a humanoid basically, they create like half devils. Yeah, so they create half devils. So Hellspawn Dale is named for the high number of tieflings in Sonara. So Sonara, does it have a stat on how many tieflings there are? Yeah, so the population of Sonara is about 5,500, and 1,500 of them are half devils.
Wow.
So, a solid
30%.
fifth of the town, or fourth of the town, are half fiends. And that doesn't mean they're evil. Being a half devil doesn't mean you're evil. You can be a heart of gold half devil. It's just you were born with devil in your blood. Anyway, so Hellspawn Dale is named that because of the Hellspawn that live in Sonara. And it is the most explored and developed area of the Whisperwood, and as such is deemed the most safe. What else is left? Perdition Reach down here. Well, this says the Murmurs. That shouldn't be there. That's stupid. I just copied and pasted the wrong thing. Anyway, this one says Perdition Reach. That one's named for the large number of devils and infernal outsiders in the region. So if you were looking for a gate to hell, you would probably check around Perdition Reach. Perdition Reach contains dense oak groves and boggy lowlands, creating harsh and difficult terrain, making it extremely difficult to navigate even on the clearest of days. And there's a road that leads down to Lake Hostel? I don't know. Another town called Lake Hostel down there. What else is there? The Iron Snarl, up to the north. One of the least explored regions of the Whisperwood, the Iron Snarl lives up to its name. Thorny bushes and rugged creepers strangle much of the flora here, and the beasts that wander its tangled ravines are equally hardy. And that's about it. So yeah, you know a good deal about the forest and the sort of creatures that are around. You don't know specifically where unicorns would hang out. You'd imagine near water, but that's about all you have on that.
Like all of our living creatures.
Yeah, they're alive, so that helps. But yeah, you don't know anything about that. And the other things, all the outsiders, you don't believe that they're native to the forest at all. So while they could be around, you don't know where like an Agathion or an angel would be.
Okay. We'll sort of read the signs as we get closer. We'll try to figure something out.
So this the Order of the Pike at the Citadel that we're going to is like, do we know any? Like, are they do we know anything about them? Could we ask about them before we go? I'm just kind of curious to know what they're.
They like civilize the land, and like part of that is that they kill monsters. So they're like big monster slayers, big game hunter types.
That is true. Yeah, I'm sure Nero would know a bunch about them because he's a Hell Knight. But let's see. They seek to slay monsters that jeopardize the peace and innocent lives. More than mere killers, these Hell Knights often take a naturals approach to their monster hunting, learning about their prey and extensively documenting this information. As a result, they have an impressive library of information regarding strange and dangerous beasts. And they basically just dedicated themselves to the eradication of monsters that would threaten innocent lives. And the Hell Inferno gate, or whatever, the portal to Hell being open, means they constantly deal with rogue devils that aren't summoned or conjured or aligned with Thrun in any way. They're just devils wandering the forest that need to be dealt with.
Should probably head there.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, Wars would go get like compass and I don't know other navigating equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
With his knowledge of the Whisperwood, are there any particular other items that would be handy?
Compass would definitely come in handy. Anything else that would be very...
Machete.
I guess some of the woods, like most of the woods, are just like like forests where there's not like a lot of like brush that you have to cut through all the time. But specifically in the Iron Snarl and I guess maybe parts of the Perdition Reach, there might be thick undergrowth, so maybe a knife like that. But no, nothing too out of the ordinary. Nothing you'd think you'd need.
And to be honest, worst case scenario is we put Iwan on Lee and have him fly up and figure out where we are.
He's kind of a bumbly flyer. He's not a...
Yeah, he is.
Still
you can
useful.
do it. I'm just saying. Just
I
don't
mean,
use...
Rosalago does, isn't he?
Rosalago is with you. He's going to be as an observer, so he's probably not going to jump into fights with you, but he's definitely going to be around reporting what's going on to Fex on a regular basis. And
he could certainly float up and give us some intel.
Sure. Not sure how good at navigating he is, but yes, he can.
Just needs to go straight up.
Probably better than a gnome riding a zombie Archon.
Probably. All right. So you guys are headed towards the Citadel then, or is that your plan?
Sure.
Okie dokie. You are leaving Longacre. And as I said before, if you're just traveling, if you're not looking and exploring and stuff like that, you can do 2 hexes a day, assuming that everybody is mounted. And I assume everybody is. You guys had horses when you came here, so...
Should we cover up or get Bob a moo or something?
Like a cloak. Bob, do you want to wear a cloak, or are you proud of your cow-covered armor?
We should probably cover it up. I mean, Bob's gonna argue, but Bob will agree.
They'll never know what hit them with you covered up. Once we get into Sonara, there will be plenty of blood that needs to be spilled, I'm sure.
Yeah, we should
You can always throw off your cloak in combat, too, at the beginning. You say it's a move action, just like let go of the clasp, and your armor is there, your fear-inducing armor.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, so you cloak up.
We should, at least appear neutral while we're in neutral territory.
Alright. So you guys are going to follow the road to the Citadel? That's the plan?
Yeah.
Anything from Linton? I know that it's sort of, we have to put you on the spot. I don't know if you want to make that something that we do next between sessions.
Yeah, we'll do it between the sessions, but he's definitely interested. His primary goal is to keep his people safe and unknown. But he does like you, and he does think that this is valuable not just to the Empire, but to him. Like he can get something out of this. He sees the value in that, so he will agree. But
Okay.
we will talk about it later.
Sounds good.
All right, so you move 2 tiles to here. I know it's putting you in the center of the tile. I could undo that, but I don't care. So it's putting you here. You're on the road though. You move 2 tiles, and then it's nighttime. So you can continue pushing on, and there are checks involved with staying awake and not being tired, or you can make camp for the night there as you begin moving towards Sonara. What would you like?
I don't think we should be in a rush. I think we should just make camp every 2 tiles.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable to me.
And we can assume that one of the shifts is held by, or maybe even all the shifts are held by a skull looking out for us.
Yeah, he's always there if everybody else wants to be awake, like, during their own shift. He can be helpful during it.
Sure.
Where am I
Can we just like wait? So is the skull just like float in the air? Like, what's the?
going?
What's it called again?
Mocking Skull? You can look it up. It's on the SRG.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah, so it just sits around and has a good perception and just watches to make sure that nothing goes on.
Can we just like have that like on a stick as we're like, walking through the woods?
Does it have to be deployed? I don't know if there's anything special about it. I don't know.
They can be commanded either to warn away intruders or raise an alarm by screaming insults and invectives. That's it.
All right.
So Iwan basically becomes Hamlet.
All right. So
Does it say how large of an area it covers? I mean, it talks about the intimidate check within 30 feet, but does it ever say like how far it can actually see?
I think it can just see. So long as there's rules for like distance of vision, it can just see.
It's
So
like
it doesn't have any special like I can detect invisible things or I can detect things that are hidden or whatever. It just has a perception check. If you're in an open field, it can see, look around.
yeah, it makes a regular
Yeah.
perception check. Yeah. So basically, and distance affects that. If someone's far enough away, they get a bonus to their hiding. Looking over here. Look at this. So something's gonna happen to you at night.
yeah.
So, what is the watch order? There are 3 watches: first, second, and third. The Mocking Skull is obviously on all of them. Who wants to be awake during which other one? Who wants to be on first watch?
Or is
I'll be on the same watch as Bobby. That's all I care about.
So, Vors wants to go first. Was that what you were saying?
Sure.
All right. Who wants to be in the middle one? The darkest of nights.
Probably the low light vision one of us, so me.
All right. And then, so the third one, while dawn is breaking, that is Bob and
Nero, yes.
Nero
Moreau.
of House Nero.
Nero, House Nero.
All right. So this happens on the second watch, so it's the one where Iwan's awake. I'm going to take all you guys and paste you to a new map. Doop doop. Doop doop. It should move. There you go. Ugh. So you guys made camp slightly off the road because you don't want to be sleeping on a road. And let me get the enemies. Let's see, what do I gotta do?
See him over here.
All right.
Boris would sleep back to back with Bob if he is open to that.
Bob's always down to sleep with boys.
Oh,
Hey now. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, so you can arrange yourself however you want to be, however you'd be. Imagine there's a campfire in the middle. And I can put one there in a second.
Oh, right, the dead guys are around all the time.
Yeah, your undead are also, yes, you're correct. They don't sleep, so they got that going for them.
Hey, Mike, remember that I can flank with my bow now. Just a heads up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
All right.
let's try to set that up.
Try to set that up.
Oh, I thought you just wanted to sleep with me. Okay.
I mean, I am a point blank master now. So
He's a master of point blankness. Size large, boom. There you go. So now's the fire. Okay, so Iwen, her undead friends, and the skull are on watch. Rosalago is invisible and or gone. He's not a fighter. So go ahead and make a perception check, Iwen, and you can make one for your undead friends as well. And then I guess roll a d20 and we'll add 8 manually for your.
Well, I assume that the other ones, like, I mean, if the undead notice anything, are they going to do any? Like, they need to be commanded. Is it even worth doing perception checks with them?
Guard.
You can order them to guard, I would say.
Oh, okay.
You can with animals anyway. I don't know. I'm kind of assuming that works with them too, but I also assume they don't have very good perception checks.
Yeah, they probably don't. Okay, and then D20 plus 8?
Yeah, just roll d20 and then we'll add an 8.
I can just put it in.
Alright, there you go. Alright, so you were the highest with a 21, so then I will roll
fail.
some secrety stealthy checks to see how secret and stealthy they are. Oh, that wasn't so secret. What the hell happened to you, Spider? Yeah,
Wonder what we're fighting.
yeah. Well, so you do hear something. You don't hear the spiders, but you do hear that there is a large creature, not a large creature, but like a medium-sized creature sneaking up from over here behind you. You can hover over to
Okay.
see what it looks like, and you make a knowledge check to see if you know what it is. But combat is erupting, and you hear there's another one too over here. So you hear 2 of them creeping up on you. And and I'm gonna roll initiative for all y'all. Butter. Okay, so you made a knowledge check. You rolled pretty decently. So what do you know about Ettercaps? So you see, coming out of the bush is this hideous purple creature. It walks upright like a man, but its face is that of a spider, and its hands are sickle-shaped claws. So you see this thing kind of moving through the forest, and it's very obvious. It's not very stealthy. It's bumbling through the bushes. You know that these things are basically spider-human hybrids. Some wizard made them a long time ago, and now they're just kind of wild. And they have a poisonous bite. And you know that they are notorious for setting up traps. Like, so they'll set up, like, you know, tripwires and stuff like that in the forest, so that you believe that you may have stumbled into one of their dens, and if you have, there may be traps around. But you also know that they have spider empathy. They can basically communicate with spiders and control them. So you would expect spiders when you see an Ettercap. So you are the only one who noticed this happening. So we're gonna skip Fufu and we're gonna straight to you. So what would you do? Everybody else is asleep and on the ground.
Okay. Well, I assume it takes my action to wake people, correct?
It's a move action to kick somebody. You can also shout, and they make a perception check with a -20. So you can try to shout, and then you can kick somebody specifically. Also, no one's wearing their armor. We'll have to deal with that as it comes up. Like, people don't sleep in armor unless you have feats for that.
Okay. Well, let's say she 5-foot steps and kicks the archer.
Alright. Vors, you are now awake, and I'll mark the other 2 as sleeping.
Did he bump
And-
you while he was kicked? 'Cause we are back to back.
You do the split and kick both of them.
I mean,
No, split.
well, they're,
So, yeah,
they're sleeping back
so
to
kick
back, like sitting upright.
And yeah, she'll try to just make as much noise as she can to try to get everybody else awake.
Okay. So Bob and Nero make perception checks. It is a 25 with the penalty built into it.
Sure.
Bob is asleep, so he rocks back and forth, still asleep, and the screaming doesn't help him. Nero wakes up though.
Oof.
Nero. All right. So let's see. So you're no longer asleep. You and Vors are both prone though, and Bob is prone and asleep. All right. So is that your whole turn? You took a move and that was it?
You said that's a move action, so I could still cast a spell, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Do these spidery things have bones?
Yes, I'm going to go with yes, they have bones.
Okay.
Exoskeletons count, son.
Yeah, I would say.
All right. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. She will. So I'm going to target this guy up here.
Yep.
And do a little bit of this.
A little bit of that.
A little bit of that.
Siphon might.
And if successful,
Okay.
yeah, and if successful, that's going to go to Vors.
Okay. A fort save. I don't think they're going to do that. Let's see how that goes for him. Oh. Okay, yeah, so he made it. So does that half it? Okay, so it halves it. So it takes a strength penalty equal to 2, so -2 strength. I'll put a label on it. And Vors still gets it, right?
He gets the 2, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. 2 strength. All right. Yeah, so you siphon some strength out of the Ettercap. And then the Ettercap goes. And they're going to charge. So Lee is standing up. I think he looks at Nero, who's still prone, and he wants to pounce on him, but Lee is standing up and intimidating him. So he's going to go towards Lee. And he's going to charge in as fast as he can. So +2 to the hit. Only the bite. And a 13 is a hit on Lee for 6. But he has DR, right?
Yeah.
DR slashing, and bite is all of them, Naz, or not slashing?
Bite is all of them, I think.
I know claws are all of them.
Is it claws that are all of them? I thought it was bite.
I'll look it up.
Claws, slashing and piercing. That doesn't matter. They're both slashing, so it doesn't matter.
I thought they were piercing. Anyway, I'll put 6 on. I'll figure it out in a second. Anyway, so other Ettercaps come out of the woodwork now. So there was, like I said, there was one down here. So he's going to run up at Fufu. Does Fufu have reach?
I mean,
I think so.
I would assume so. He's
Long things don't have reach generally, like tall things do. So again, we'll look it up, but I'll have to check. Anyway, he runs up and fails horribly. And there were more Ettercaps. There were 2 more. So this one comes up and tries to get at Lee. And that is a hit for 5. And again, I'm going to check the DR thing in a second. And this one is going to... This one has Bob. So this one's charging at Bob, who's prone and not in armor. So a 10... And Bob, your touch attack is a 12. Let's see without armor, and you're prone. So yeah, so he does hit for 7. Bob, make a Fortitude save.
Wait, oh, I gotta click my character.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, so you feel as it bites you, it has these 2 fangs, like spider-like fangs, and you see the holes it left on your arm, but you do not feel any ill effects from it.
Bob laughs at the holes and chuckles.
Vors, you are awake and prone on the ground.
I grab my bow and get up.
All right, so yeah.
That's your move.
Yeah, I'll call that one move. Whoops. So you're standing there with your bow.
So Bob's awake now, right?
Yeah, I think being bitten will wake you up. I would say yes.
So that's my move. So how many attacks do I get now?
Just 1 with your best most bonus.
Best most bonus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll shoot the one that's like attacking Bob.
All right. It's point blank, so you get a +1 to hit and damage. A 14 is not a hit. You got any other bonuses hiding out?
Does the +1 strength do anything?
That's a hit
Nope.
for sure. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, he's
It's a
charging.
bow.
He's charging. You do hit for
Nice.
13 damage. Did you add your scroll to your weapon? Like, what is it now? Did you make it cruel like we talked about on the group, or is it flaming?
No, it's a +2 to hit and damage.
Oh, okay. And it's already in your sheet?
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, then yeah, you hit him for 13 damage with point blank shot.
And then I bought like another point for the strength. Like,
Got it.
comparisons. 1d8 + 10 now.
All right, Bob, you're awake, you're prone, and you have this horrible Spider-Man person hovering over you with these two sickle claw hands, and he has these fangs, these like spider fangs that he just bit you with. And
So if I stand up, he's gonna try to bite me.
Yes, that will provoke.
Can I roll like a 5-foot roll?
You can make an acrobatics check to try to do that. Depends on how good you are at acrobatics.
Bob's not bad at acrobatics. Kind of.
Kind of.
Alright, fine. Bob will try to do that.
Okay, yeah.
Bob's
so you,
terrible at
Yeah.
acrobatics.
So you do move. He just gets to bite you anyway. So as you roll away, he gets a bite, and that is good enough because at the moment you are prone. So another 6. So make another fort save. But you do get away, and you can stand up without getting attacked. Yeah, you're fine.
Great, I stand up.
Congratulations.
That's all I can do, huh?
That is correct. Yes.
Ugh.
But you're up. All right,
I'm not
Fufu.
I said I'm not poisoned.
You're not poisoned. That is correct. You got that going for you.
Oops.
Fufu.
This one.
Bite plus grab on the one attacking you, I assume. 24 will certainly hit for 13. And go ahead and do your grab.
Where them claws at?
What are claws at? Foo lions do have reach, so that's true. So go ahead and try to grab me. He came at an angle, so it didn't really matter. But let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's grabbed, right? Yeah, 18.
+4, yeah.
Yeah, he is grappled. Oh, +4. Yeah, he is grappled. So you have him in one of your claws, Fufu. Oh, your bite, sorry. Does Fufu also have claws too, or does he only get the bite?
I want to say he's got claws also. I mean,
I would imagine he does, right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me try my weapon too, because if he does, yeah.
Yeah, I think you gotta match it twice though, because it looks like it's only doing one. Yeah, there you go. All right, so you bite him and you have him in your mouth, and then you're just setting upon him with your 2 claws, and those are both hits for 19 total damage. And he is bleeding to death. He's not dead, but he is dying in your mouth. All right, and that was Fufu's turn. And then, seeing that their one Ettercap is dying and that this isn't going as well as they'd hoped, all of the Ettercaps in unison begin like chittering and making these horrible insectoid noises. And you see a bunch of spiders run out from the trees. So there are quite a lot of spiders. They're all around you, and there are 8 of them in total. And they are
Can we knowledge check on those too?
Sure. It's knowledge nature if you like. So these 2 are going to go bite Fufu. 17 and a 4. 17 hits for 3 plus poison. Poison doesn't matter.
A horrible skeleton monster.
Knowledge check. Let's see. Did you make a knowledge check? Yeah, Nero and Iowa made them. You both rolled well enough to know that these are just run-of-the-mill spiders. They have a fairly weak poison, but they're large. They're the size of dogs. It's like a spider the size of a normal dog. So they're horrifying, monstrous spiders, but as far as adventuring parties are concerned, these aren't that scary. This one's going to run at Bob. Zubert, 18. That's a hit for 4. Make another fort save, Bob.
God damn it.
This one's also going to come at you, Bob. That one missed. Man, you're acing these fort saves, though. There's 2 in the north. They're going to go for Nero. Nero's on the ground. Hi, Nero.
God damn it!
1 bites and misses. That 17's a hit for 4. Make a fort save, Nero. And is that all of them? There's one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, there's one over here. This one will also run at Nero. Or Lee.
So are these Spider-Mancers that are walking around? They don't summon these, right? Like
they don't summon them, but they are empathic. They train them basically.
Okay.
This one 4 on Lee. Oh, that's a threat. Does he crit on Lee? He does not crit on Lee, but just barely. And then the one over here is gonna go at Bob also. Everyone's on Bob. It goes Bob. So hit for 3. Make another fort save, Bob. You're good. Nero rolled a 12. What's the spider's one?
Probably Strumpf. Usually Strumpf.
Well, I'm just curious if a 12 is enough for a giant spider. Their poison DC is a 14. No, yeah, so you take 1d2 strength damage. You take 2 strength damage. I'll put a little label on it. Alright. And Lee should have 1 less damage because this Ettercap has a strength damage and I forgot about it. Alright, that's all the spiders. And they're on initiative now, so you can see them. Alright. Lee.
I assume he'll just hit the thing that hit him first, so it's this Ettercap 5.
Sure. Yeah, so that is a hit and a hit. And for, wow, 31 damage. Jeez, okay. That's a dead Ettercap. That is, well, he's dying. So he's on the ground, bleeding to death, but not dead. But yeah, that's a massive hit by Lee with the greatsword. Next is Nero.
I'm gonna wait to see what Iwan does.
Alright. Iwan?
Let's see. I think Iwan is going to get some haste going for everybody. So I think I can get... I didn't actually make a macro for this one, but I think it's 1 per level.
It's 1 per level, and they all have to be within 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is, yeah, you're fine.
So I think it should be all of us.
Yes.
Oh my god.
There it is. This is the first haste, everybody. Yeah, so everybody has +1 to AC and to reflex saves, and more important, and 30 feet to your movement. You can run really fast. But most importantly, you get a free attack at your highest bonus every time you full attack. All right, so there you go. That's Haste. It's a great spell. So Nero, are you coming off delay?
Nero's gonna stand up, drawing his shield.
Okay. Toggle hold, movie down.
So take your attacks.
Yeah, there's 2 of them there, so they'll both take it. So you grab your shield and you try to stand up and bite. You're prone without armor when you're standing, so you have a 12. So those both hit.
+1 with the haste, right?
Oh, yeah, so that 12 misses. So the 19's still going to hit for 3. Make another fort save as you stand up.
Sure.
You made it. So you don't get worst poisoned, but you're still normal poisoned. Alright, so you're standing.
Nero's gonna cast a spell. He's gonna cast Archon Zora.
Okay. Does that provoke?
It does.
Do they have combat reflexes? I doubt. No, they don't. Yeah, so they've already bitten you. So you cast Archon Zora, and that is everybody in nearby makes a will save.
20-foot radius, yeah.
So everybody. Alright, spiders. How good's your will?
Probably not great.
I think that's all the ones that are conscious. Mash with the will button. Alright, what's my DC?
It is 3 + 6, 19.
So only that 23 made it, looks like? Only Ettercap 1 made it? So rather than give everybody a debuff, I'm going to give Ettercap 1 a buff. That he made it. He's the strong one. Everyone else is afraid of your aura. So
Their attack rolls, saving throws, and armor class are down by 2.
-2. So yeah, he has this palpable aura around him of law and justice. Like, and it's called Archon's aura because Archons have this. Like a Hound Archon has a weak version of this around him. The Legion Archon you fought has an aura like this. So he's basically mimicked that aura around him and terrified all of the spiders and Ettercaps. And then the Ettercaps go. So they're not scared enough to flee, but they are kind of in awe of his aura. So this one's going to attack Lee again with everything he's got. Bite, claw, claw. The bite hits. And I did look it up. Bites are all of them. Claws are just bludgeoning, slashing. They're not piercing. So they all do damage to zombies. That is a hit, miss, hit. So it's a total of 10 damage on Lee, slicing away at him. No poison matters for him. The brave Ettercap. He is going to 5-foot step like this. And he was attacking Bob, so he's no longer charging. And he's going to check. 1 is Bob, 2 is Vors. He chooses to keep attacking Bob. And he gets everything he gets. So you're not wearing armor, but you're no longer prone. So you have a 12. So it's a hit, a miss, and a hit.
Where's my +1? Well, not that it helps, but...
Oh, yeah. It didn't matter for this, but you are correct. You would have a 13. So 8 and 6 is 14. And make 2 fort saves, Bob. You're not immune to poison, right? Yeah, you're not. Okay. Jesus, 35. That's a crit. All right. Jesus. All right. Yeah, so that Ettercap bites and claws you, and you don't care. Vors.
Does this mean I'm flanking Ettercap 1?
No, you need to be standing there to flank Ettercap 1.
You can
What?
5-foot step and flank him, though.
Will I be standing in the fire if I step there?
Half of it, yes. You'd make an acrobatics check or a reflex save, whichever you'd prefer, to not step in the fire. But it won't hurt you that bad to step in fire.
Alright, and... yeah, I guess a little acrobatics.
Yeah, you're exceedingly nimble and you're smart not to get your feet into the fire. So you're standing on the edge and you can feel it on your back, on your cloak and stuff, but you're fine. You don't get burned. And you bash him with your longbow.
I do not bash him, I shoot him.
You shoot him. Sorry, you shoot him with your longbow, point blank.
Bash.
So do you? I know you count as flanking, but do you also get flanking from other people? Like, are you flanking with your bow?
Yeah, I get sneak attack damage on him too.
All right, fun for the Ettercap. They are both hits.
So that would be like my... alright, so we get 2d6 on both, so...
And you don't provoke is one of the biggest
I don't
things,
provoke.
right? Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
let's do this math here. So 10...
26, 34, 37.
Yeah. So you actually would have done more than that because your first one would have been a many shot, but he's already dead. So he's straight up dead. But you get another attack at your full bonus. So basically mash the button again, and you get the +11 without the many shot. You can shoot at anybody you're in range of.
Wait,
Shoot
I also have a rapid shot.
Yes, so you should have 2 more, and they should all be at -2.
Okay.
Yes, and they all would still hit. Okay.
Alright, so... I guess I'm going to shoot the other Ettercap 3.
Sure.
Kapow.
Roll that again because both of them will be the +11s we'll use. So they have a net -1. So -2 from rapid shot, +1 from haste. And are you within 30 feet? Of course you are. So they're all flat. There's no minus on them at all. A 12 is not good enough. A 17 is good enough for 15 damage because of point blank shot. And
alright.
all right, so there you go. You're done. So you do. I'll look at the feet later. Never mind. Anyway, Bob the Zoob.
It's your boy. So Bob's not happy about these spiders.
Yeah, they're biting you.
We're just gonna play like Whack-A-Spider, I guess.
Okay, which one do you pick first?
The middle one.
Boom. And you hit with a 28 for 14 damage, and then do your fire.
It's 1d6, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Yahtzee. So that one's bleeding to death on the ground.
All right, and then.
So your second attack there, you rolled a 2, and you got an 8, so that's a miss. But you get your haste, so basically match that again.
All right, we'll do this one's the one on the left, I guess.
The one on the left is this the roll?
Yeah. Well, the top, yeah.
Yeah. 15, yeah, that's a hit. So roll your fire again.
Oh.
That's enough.
That one is staggered. That one is still alive, but barely.
All right, now put some smoke there.
Yes, there'd be smoke on both of them. You are correct. And I will draw that. They do not like smoke. All right. We're back to the top with Fufu.
Fufu liked the taste of Ettercap. So, is there a way that he can get Ettercap 3? Did we determine if he had reach or not?
He has reach. I looked it up. Yeah. So you're gonna drop the one in your mouth right now.
The dead one?
Yes, it's still in your mouth unless you let it go. It's free
Yes,
to do it. But all right.
he'll drop the dead one and
Yes.
go for the. Okay.
All right. So unleash with all of your attacks on the poor Ettercap. That's a hit for 14, and he is alive still. And he's grabbed. That first claw is a miss, even in the grapple, but the second claw does hit for 10, and he is again bleeding to death, but not dead.
So does Fufu get another bite with haste?
Mm-hmm.
I would say yes. Although it's odd if he actually has something in his mouth. I guess he would just gnaw on it. Yeah, I'd say you get another bite. Yeah.
Well, let's say that the second claw that killed it, he rips the thing out of his mouth with the claw.
Sure.
And then he'll turn and take a side bite at Spider 7.
Good old side bite. Spider 7.
Not as good as those.
Yeah, that's a miss. That misses the spider. Jumps out of the way at the last seconds. Then the spiders go. So let's see. So all of them have -2 to their hits because they're terrified. This one's also staggered. So it's going to bite Bob first. That is a miss. And I'm pretty sure he takes a damage for his troubles. And he begins bleeding to death unconsciously. Where's that guy? There's the guy. Alright, that one's dead. Spider 6 is going to bite at Bob. Nope. Spider 3 and 2 we're going to bite at Nero. Boom, boom. 22 and 11. The 22 hits.
Threat. That's a threat.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. No. But it does hit you for 3. And make another fort save.
Sure. Okay.
You made it again. All right. But you still have the initial poison in your body. All right. That's those spiders. Spider 1 is over here with Lee. Bite it, Lee. Misses Lee. Giant Spider 9 is toe-to-toe with Fufu. He is going... Oh, both... And 7. So both of them are going to bite at Fufu. They both miss Fufu. And I think that's all the spider... Spider 6, did he bite yet? Spider 6 bite yet? Oh, he did. He missed. Okay. They're all done. Lee gets to go.
Lee will cut at Spider 1.
Yeah, you hit really hard, Lee. Those are both hits. Second one's a threat, it looks like. You got a 20 on that. +5 down there. Let's go ahead and roll it again. No, you rolled a 1. A 20 and a 1. Alright. But 29 damage is enough to kill a spider anyway, right? Straight up dead. Yeah, not even dying. Straight up dead. And then we're back to Iwan. Yeah, you can 5 hits that.
Does he get his... He gets hasted too, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
So he'll go over and cut at 9.
That is a hit. You have haste and everything, so you hit. And 14, yep. Boom. Nero.
Nero says...
Iwan gets her turn too, right?
Oh, sorry, yes.
It's all right. So, just gonna step up. What is a cone shape? I want to try to get both of these spiders with burning hands.
Okay.
Would it do it from here?
Yeah. So if you go to there's a template tool. If you look at it, there's like a pointer bling, then a paintbrush, and then like the third one before fog. If you can see that, there's like a So you do that, and you go to the second one there. It's a cone template on the right. Like there's different shapes. And then basically you can pick some colors if you want in the thing, or you can just make it whatever. And then you basically pick the corner of the square you want to start in, and then you drag it until you see like this is a 15-foot cone. Or you can draw it, the other way. Like that. So play around with it. Get comfortable. Because you'll be casting a lot
like
of
that,
those
basically?
I don't see what you drew.
That.
I still don't see what you drew. Where'd it go?
I see.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Here.
Okay, yeah, black. I see. Yeah, so you're going up and like that. So they get to bite you if you walk up to them and cast a spell in front of them.
Okay.
If you 5-foot step back, but then Nero would be in it. I don't know if there's friendly fire.
There is friendly fire. Literally.
Yeah,
fire.
there is. That's all right. Let me pop off some magic missiles then. I think instead. So start with Spider 3. And basically, she'll just shoot as many as it takes. If she kills one, then she'll move on to the other one that's going with Nero.
Sure.
But they're all going to come out at once. So
Understood.
This guy. Oh, whoops. Hold on.
That's the boring one that references the
That
words.
one.
All right.
Yeah, it's the boring one.
So 16 is the number to hit, so you get 9, 11, 14. That's not enough to knock it out. So he's still standing. Yeah, so you blow him all at number 3, and he is still standing, but barely. You bash a bunch of his, you see his exoskeleton getting crushed, and chunks of him are flying off, but he is still there. Nero, make a fort save, because the poison is coursing through your veins.
Sure.
Yep, you're still taking damage. You take another 2 strength damage.
Nero takes full defense
Okay.
and says disgusting.
Alright, that's +4 to his armor class. You can move or 5-foot step if you want.
No, good.
Ettercaps, are any of them alive?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay, there. Yeah, so I'll remove them from initiative. Remove token. All right. Vors, Abernus.
Shoot the low one. Shoot the low one first.
There's 2 low ones. There's this one and this one.
Oh, the one next to Nero.
Okay, shooting a spider 3. A 22 hits for 13. That would have many shot damage on it, but that's enough to kill it, so it doesn't really matter.
Then I shoot. I'll shoot the other one next to Nero.
Let's shoot the other one next to you. Okay, yeah. So then
The
that
second shot is a 20, yeah.
that 19 or 20 is a hit for 10. Oh, 11 if you're in range, which you are. Point blank shot.
I guess I'll shoot it again.
Yeah, you get rapid shot and haste, so yeah, so that's another hit for 12, 13 with that. So that one is also bleeding death on the ground. I'll just mark them both as dead because it's easier.
So then I shoot again.
You get one more shot, yes, and it's all even because you have a -2 and a +2 from different sources. So
Okay, so I shoot Spider 6.
Spider 6 down here. All right, an 18 is enough. It hits a spider for 13 damage. Pop, pop. Shooting arrows all over the place. Robert, the Zoob. These 2 are bleeding to death and they're dying. They're not even.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. I can still hit number 6 over here.
You can. And you do for 16.
Good night.
It's out, but if you want to burn it with fire damage too, you can.
Yeah, you bet I do.
All right, buddy.
We're having spider for dinner tonight, boys.
Yeah, so you hit it for 5. And you can't move and attack anything else, so do you want to just go ham on this thing and like hit it with the other one attack for fun?
Yeah, that seems like something Bob would do.
Yeah, so you hit it again for 19 damage, and you get a hasten attack. So roll another attack and then roll 2 fires.
I already rolled the attack.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So that's another 18, and then roll 2 fires. A 6 and 1, so 7. So you took it down to negative 62 hit points. And it's like a paste of a spider. You hit it, and you're super angry at these spiders that have bit you several times. You've got all these little like fang marks on your arms and legs, and you're just pasting that one spider. You can take a 5-foot step if you like. And we're back.
What else is worth killing? Oh, there's a giant spider over here.
There's 2 spiders left here.
I'm looking this way.
Can't be there, dude.
What? Oh, come on.
Fufu's there.
You can't stand in Fufu.
I can't move myself now that I'm on the Fufu.
Alright, it's Fufu's turn now. Is Fufu going to just destroy these spiders?
Yeah, he'll go for Spider 7.
Ooh, go for the full health spider. Alright, that is a hit for 13.
I guess. I mean,
Plus
why not?
That failed. You failed to grapple him.
Okay. I can still swipe him. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
All right.
Yeah, for 12, yep. He is... Let's mark him as dead, because he's close enough. And one more claw, or you're into the claw and another bite, and there's only one spider left, it looks like.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So that's. I'll
17.
take the other claw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a hit for 12,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's dead too. Everybody's dead. So the ettercaps, most of the spiders are straight up dead, but the ettercaps are unconscious. 3 of them anyway. If you care.
Are other caps just like barbarian, like reasonably, like a modicum of smart, but are not like are just basically smart animals?
You can make a knowledge check to see what you know about them, but Iwin would know that yes, they're smarter than animals, but much stupider than people. Nero knows the same.
I mean, if you pretty loathsome to touch, but if you want to, you should have energy to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Bob also can't. I mean, he's got the.
Death knell only lasts minutes, though. It's mostly used like in a fight or right before a fight.
Oh, okay.
It's not, as far as I'm aware, anyway.
Well, but the reservoir points are gonna reset when she sleeps anyway. But I mean, just for thematic effect, let's say that she does it, and then they're gonna go away when she sleeps.
You've got lesser restoration, huh, Mr. Nozick?
Yep.
Look at you, packing spells that are useful.
Not very thuggish, but
Boring spell choices. Boring.
nobody ever complains about lesser restoration. There's plenty of spells where I'll be like, oh, god damn it, construct.
Fair enough, yeah. So he is able to remove all of his poison effect with 2 casting
And-
lesser restoration. Mhm.
Before we go back to sleep, let me see. I had 4 level 1 spells left, so 13. How much does he need? 24. That's 24. Okay, so I'll use 2 level 1 spells to get Lee back up to full.
Alright, let's do that real quick. Boom, boom. Fufu has 3 hit points if you care. And Bob's damaged. Nero's damaged.
And I'll just blow through whatever healing you want me to blow through to heal everybody up.
Alright, that's fine.
And yeah, I'll pop another one to get Lee up. I mean, Fufu up to full.
Fufu.
Phew,
All right.
phew.
Okay.
Any loot?
Good question.
Probably junk.
You'd imagine, but what do I know? Standard, so I have to look that up. I'll make a note to do that.
No worries, dude.
Nothing useful and incidental for the spiders. And I'll just pick a note, standard spider. Standard ettercap loot.
As I look around now, is there any obvious sign that we're basically in an easy ettercap layer, or they just happen to wander past us?
Make a perception check or a survival check, whatever you think you're better at.
Can I just have Lee do like a sweep of the like just walk around all the squares trying to pop traps?
Yeah, you can certainly do that. That's one of the best parts of having undead minions. If you're going through a dungeon, you just send a zombie in first. See if something blows up. Yeah, so again, perception or survival, whatever you think is best. Junk. Yeah, so Nero, you don't notice any traps or anything like that around. Neither does Iwan. Vors looks around very thoroughly, and he is certain that there are no traps. That these were probably wandering ettercaps. They must have been starving to have work like this, because like you guys knew before, they usually set traps and wait for people to wander into them. But come upon a party like this that was sleeping, they must have been starving. And Vors finds nothing after a thorough search. He's confident that there's no traps around. All right. So let me kill all of the things that aren't dead yet. Mash the dead button. Dead button. And yeah, and Rosalago's back. Rosalago was hanging out invisible the whole time.
Thanks for the heads up, bro.
Well, he didn't see them. Yeah, he shrugs. They were very stealthy. They were moving through the forest. I don't think devils sleep. I'll look that up. I don't know if they do. But anyway, so that's that. And you guys are able to go back to sleep, and nothing accosts you during the rest of your night. So I will take you back to the Whisperwood Overland X map. I don't know why I have a copy of Fufu. It's interesting. Anyway. You're all back on the hex map now. And you made it 2 squares before you were jumped in your sleep. And you wake up the next morning, everything's fine. You can reslot your spells, do whatever you need to do.
Put on the armor.
Put on your armor, yeah. That's the worst part of getting jumped in your sleep, is not wearing your armor. There's a feat to do that. Can light armor people wear their stuff?
I think you can wear it, but if you wear it more than 2 nights in a row, you wake up fatigued.
That's not
I think that's it. And then if you've got endurance, you can wear your armor, and who cares?
Yeah, it's that feat nobody takes.
It's a feat the Rangers get, and yeah.
That's true, Rangers just get it. Anyway, so you guys are good, and you're going to head back on your way down the road toward the Citadel. Nothing's changed in your plan?
Yep.
All right. You make it 2 tiles. I roll secret stuff. Random encounter, nothing, and nothing. All right, so you make it this time, and you make 2 tiles, and you set up camp, and nothing accosts you that night. So you spent 2 days on the road. Yes, nothing happens at night either. Okay. So you guys are heading towards Citadel Ordeal. So the next morning you wake up and you begin walking. So you're going to make it 2, but along the way you are jumped by another thing. So I will copy all your tokens again to another map. I should have some music. That's what I need. Don't have any good music. Map, vision, it's daytime. Pow! Alright. You guys are headed north across this road. Go ahead and arrange yourself however you would be. Again, you're heading north, so set yourself up whatever your marching order would be normally. And you're all on horseback, presumably, or fufu back.
Mine's still loading, just for
Oh,
what
sure.
it's worth.
Double fufu.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Alright.
Ah, shit, there it goes.
Which is the real fufu? I feel like, right? Am I the only one who sees 2?
I see 2.
This is just double fufu.
I think they're the same though. Again, I don't know why I'm getting multiple copies of Fufus. Last time I got another copy of Rosalago as well, but this is the real Fufu. Ownership all
Okay.
players. There you go.
I guess probably that, and then yes.
All right. Rosalago's hanging out in the back, and Lee is where he's supposed to be. That's where you want Lee.
Yeah. Why
Okay.
not?
All right.
Just floating to the side. Yeah.
So you guys are just cruising along the road, and you get to about there when a cloaked man on a horseback he rides into the middle of the road, and he kind of rears up his horse, hooves in the air, and he says, "Whoa, whoa!" and he tells you to stop where you are. Horse studies him. Yeah, so this man on the horse, he perception. What are you looking for?
Other people.
Smart. You're a smart man. Let me see what I can roll secretly about that. Yeah, you do see some other people. So you see over here there's a brigand. You see there's some sort of brigand spellcaster over here. And you see another brigand over here. But Brigand 5 doesn't know that you've noticed all these people yet. And Brigand 5 says, in the name of the Fane Prince, please drop everything you have, drop your pouches and your items, and go back to where you came.
What's the
In the name of who?
The Fane Prince. Fane Prince. Nero, you do not know who that is. You rolled extremely poorly.
Oh,
Vors knows. Iwin also doesn't know. You're not from this area, so it's not like you'd be expected to know.
So what does Force know?
Vors, you know that the Fane Prince is like a notorious bandit king or bandit lord, whatever you want to call it, in the Murmurs. He lives, you're not sure exactly where his base is, somewhere near a river, you think, but it's deep in the forest, and he has been the most troublesome bandit lord in the area. He's a notable spellcaster. He's a powerful sorcerer in his own right. You don't think the sorcerer you see, she's a woman, you don't believe that she is the Fane Prince, but you know that he is an elf or a half-elf, and because of his powers with magic, he's attracted a lot of, like, seedly people under one roof. Like, he's united all these bandits under his leadership because of his powers with magic. And despite the tokens having, like, a bloody chain link or whatever on it, they all have lightning bolts, which is his symbol of the Fane Prince. They have little lightning bolts on their shields. So he says again, in the name of the Fane Prince, drop your purses and all your items and go back where you came.
You're kidding, right?
He shakes his head. I say, I do not kid, friend.
I would offer you the same to you and your friends.
He says, friends? And he looks around curiously.
Don't play dumb with me. It's like, I'll give you one chance to leave with your lives.
Make an intimidate check. See if you scare him away.
Can Bob assist on
Plus
that check?
2 on there.
You didn't make one though, did you? I don't see a Vors one. Oh, there it is. Oh, yours is an 8. Okay, I see. I thought it was a Bob one.
No,
plus 2.
I was asking can Bob assist?
Well, hold on. You're not talking just yet. So you successfully scared him. Yeah, so you don't even need Bob's assistance. You've intimidated him, but I don't think he's scared enough to leave just yet. And he says, who are you?
Bob,
Someone who would keep company with a skeletal lion and zombie archon. Like, dude, like, what are you thinking? You're gonna jump?
Yeah, so taking some time to look around, he does notice now that there's a gnome riding a skeleton lion, and there's maybe a bit more than he bargained for, and there's also like a zombified Legion Archon. So he's assessing the situation. The brigand on the horse is assessing the situation, and you hear someone call out from the bush, and Vors notices that it is the sorcerer or the caster. She says, maybe he's right, and she says, very afraid. Maybe he's right.
Well, listen to your smart friend here.
Vors, they're lawbreakers. Why don't we just kill them all?
Nero, if that's what you want to do, man.
Bob,
We bring them to justice. We torture the survivors to find out where their camp is.
All right.
So they're already afraid. So I'll roll initiative for them, and then I'll roll initiative for you guys. Rosalago is not going on initiative. Oh, come on, the brigand's initiative is broken. You stupid thing. Because they get a bonus in forest. Anyway, I have to fix that. Let's see. That is a 14, 16. So I gotta move this up. I'm the best in the world. Alright, and then this guy is lower than that. Tied with Iwin. This guy is... God, this is stupid. Okay, there you go. Alright, so Vors, you want initiative. So, Nero, did you call out, let's kill them, or how loudly did you say, like, the lawbreakers?
I would say at a moderate volume, not loud enough that ever...
Okay. Alright. So, Vors, it is your move, friend.
All right. I draw my bow and shoot the brigand's horse.
You shoot the brigand's horse! Alright, go ahead.
Right before you shoot his horse.
All right. Yeah, and you're doing your rapid mini shot thing. Your trick?
I mean, do I get to pick which one is the many shot?
It's always the first one, I think, as far as I'm aware.
All right, so just say I do 24 damage to the horse.
You get sneak attack damage too. 'Cause they're
Well,
probably
well, hold on. So the horse's armor class is very low, but this brigand has mounted combat, which means he gets to make a ride check, and the ride check becomes the mount's AC. So let's see if he's any good at that. Ah, not good enough though. So you watch as the arrow veers towards him, and he has the horse rear out of the way, but you still catch it in the back leg. So yeah, so both of those are gonna hit, and you get many shot damage. So roll your D8 plus whatever.
I was just gonna say that was 24. Can we just say like my first roll is the?
Oh, okay, sure. We can do that. Sure, understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24. I get it. So the horse isn't dead, but it is basically it falls to the ground unconscious. So let me put that on it, and the guy needs to make a ride check to dismount hastily while the thing is collapsing underneath him, and he succeeds. So he manages to tumble off and not die. I'm not sure if he falls prone. I'll look that up in a second. But that's that, and you get your second and third shots now.
Yeah. So I take 1 step or 5-foot step.
Sure.
I guess I could take more since I'm on Scarto, but now I'm in point blank range.
Yeah.
I just shoot.
Sure.
awesome.
So you got -2s on these because you're rapid shotting.
+1 because point blank. So -1.
Why'd you roll 2 of them though? I thought it was just
The first one. You're not hasted still.
Yeah, you're not hasted anymore. Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
so-
that's only like minutes.
Yeah. So that first one's a miss. The second one is a hit, even with a -1. So you hit for 10. Damn. 11 point blank shot. Yeah. So he raises his shield. He deflects the first one, but the second one catches him in the leg, and he is now off his horse. And there is another brigand that you did not see, Vors, and he's over there. And he's going to take a shot at you because you're being mean to horses and things. And he fails miserably. Bob, the Zoob.
How high up is this ridge here?
It is a 10-foot climb.
You're on a horse. You could
Okay, so I guess we could do that then. All right, fine. Bob would like to come up yonder.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You can have your horse climb that, is the plan?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Horse climbs. I'll say he gets halfway up, so you're kind of enraged, but you're on shaky terrain.
Why don't you
All
just
Just
Well.
walk around.
have the horse
All right, fine.
go this way? Or just attack this guy.
Fine. I'm over here now. Move of the year. Okay. Great. I'm attacking that guy.
All right.
He's dead.
You need to make a ride check because you are unseasoned in riding, as far as I'm aware.
He has a -4.
Yeah. With
didn't have
his armor. Yeah. So you actually fail to guide the horse with your knees. So as you're directing your horse over there, it stops. It actually walks in a random direction, and I'm just going to roll a d8. It chooses 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it actually walks this way. So you begin walking, and you knee it, but you're in your armor, and it's so awkward for you, and you've never ridden a horse before. So you knee it the wrong way, and the horse goes the other way. And it seems angry and injured.
Horse, as a seasoned rider, sees this and tells him to get off his horse.
Brigand 3 is over there. Brigand 3, Rosalago's going to be invisible, so she doesn't see that. She's going to try to sneak around like this, and she's going to take a shot at one is Iwan, 2 is Nero. Chooses Nero. Crit. Not a confirmed crit for 3. And that's a point blank shot. Is she within range? Yes, so another 1. And does an 18 crit you? No, not even close. Alright. That's it for her. Yeah, they don't really stand much of a chance here. Fufu.
Let's assume he just delays for Iwan.
Okay. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Then Brigand the second will go.
When we need some alive.
Brigand 2 is going to charge at Vors on the horse. And is he going to kill the horse? No, horses are valuable, and they're brigands, so they're not going to do that.
They're not fucking touch Scarta.
He goes for Vors with a Masterwork Scimitar, and he hits you for 4. They have any feats that I should know about? They have power attack, but he didn't use it. Okay, understood. All right. Iwan.
What maneuver would it be to get off Fufu? Can I like acrobatics off or something?
You can dismount as a move action.
Yeah, for free without any problem. But it takes
Okay.
you move. If you want to do anything faster than that, it's a ride check.
No, that's fine. That works. So that'll be that, and then, do we see the other guys in the bushes? Vors did, but can I assume that I would?
Yeah, you need to make a perception check to see them. But if Vors did indicate there were more people, so you have a little bit of a bonus.
And then one of them did shoot a crossbow, so...
Yeah, the
Well,
ones
I'm
that-
specifically interested in this, in if I know if the sorcerer is there.
You do. She rolled very poorly on her stealth check. So
All
yes.
right.
He also yelled
So
She did.
she did. That's true. So Iwan will ready a spell if that sorcerer starts casting.
Okay.
And then we can assume Fufu goes.
Yeah.
All right. So Fufu will saunter over as Bob does to this brigand, and I guess he just gets the bite. Yeah.
Correct. He only gets the bite.
All right. He gets the bite.
Yeah. A 23 will hit a brigand for 9. And you're going to try to grab her. And it's not enough, so she jumps out of the way nimbly. But she's horrified at this horrible skeleton foo lion. Brigand 5 is probably also going to charge Vors. He sees that his horse is dying on the ground. You can see some anguish on his face. You're not sure if it's that he liked the horse or that it's a lot of money dying on the ground. But he also charges at Vors. And he cuts at you with a scimitar. 23 is a hit for 6. And I should be power attack. I'll remember the next turn. The sorcerer goes, and she's going to cast a spell. So you can go ahead and do whatever you were doing.
Okay.
What is your move?
Probably not gonna like this one.
Probably not going to like it, yeah. So she's moving up over to here, and then she begins to cast a spell, and you 17 points of damage, so that's a lot. And you can bone shake her. Oh, she gets a fort save. Let's see if that matters. I don't think she failed, but barely.
Well, it kind of will matter because I'll probably have her come falling down the slope.
Yes. So you're gonna bone shake her like that, and she's gonna tumble down the slope.
Oh yeah.
Tumble 10 feet. It's 1d6 damage. Doop, doop, doop. She takes 3 damage. And she is staggered awake, but prone at the bottom of the thing. And I'm going to roll a d20. I mean, she probably lost her spell anyway. She rolled a 16, and she took 17 damage. That's lost. I don't even need to add anything into that to know that that's not happening. And she's prone. So she is prone on the ground there. Boom. All right. And Iwan moves to in front of her in the initiative list, and then it's Lee's turn.
All right. What's the closest thing to Lee right now?
Brigand 2 and the
Is there-
one on the ground are the same.
Oh, those brigands. Yeah. Okay. So go over here and get brigand 2. This guy.
Jesus.
Brigand 2. So his armor class is a 16. So that is a hit and a hit for 24 damage. Woof.
Just the one.
Oh, he moved. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause it's not a full attack. Yeah.
All right. So he's not dead. That's good. All right. And it's Nero of House Nero's turn.
Nero dismounts
It's a move.
and just kicks the brigand sorcerer in the face.
Go over roll your 1d20 plus strength. She's not threatening you.
He basically says how he finds it distasteful to engage in physical combat, but I suppose I have to start somewhere.
So go ahead, roll d20 plus strength. Ah, you missed.
So +2 plus 5, and then -4 for her being on the ground.
+2 plus 5, so that's 7 plus
No,
11.
plus yeah. Wait, what's
So yeah, you still miss. She has a 17, and not counting the proneness, but you had a 0 roll. So yes, you missed her.
Okay.
You kicked
Cool.
dust in her face. There's another brigand over here in the south, and she sees things are not going so well, so she's going to move up like this, and she's going to stand on the edge and take a shot at Vors. Missing horribly. They're terrible with those crossbows. All right, we're back to the top. It's Vors' turn.
I laugh and then spit in Brigand 5's face. 5-foot step this way. Or I nimbly guide my horse 5 feet that way.
Okay.
Don't show off.
And so many shot.
Sure. Do you have the mounted combat feat, Vors, or do you?
I don't have mounted combat. I have
Okay.
ride though.
You should also be making ride checks then. But I think you actually have ranks of it, or hope you do.
I do.
Yeah, so go ahead and make it. And you're shooting at which one? Sorry, 5 again.
Brigand 5. So
Sure.
+1 on those.
Yeah, this is your many shot though. Yeah, you're fine. It's only a 5 to do that, Bob. By the way.
Great, don't.
Yeah, so you nail him for 26 damage with your first shot. Point blank, 27.
Yeah.
And he is bleeding to death on the ground.
Alright, then I shoot at Brigand 2.
Yep, you get your other shot and your shot. So that's a -2 + 1, so it's a -1 on both of these. And first one's a hit, second one's a miss. So you hit with 11 damage because of point blank shot.
Yeah. So then I get another one because of rapid shot.
No, that was rapid shot, wasn't it?
yeah? You get the first one's your many shot, and then the second 2 you get because of rapid shot.
Okay.
Correct. All right.
Rapid shot gives you 1 extra at your best.
Brigand 4 is the one up here, and seeing that it's not going so well and that he's not that good at shooting, he's probably going to try to come around and help his friends. So he's going to try to jump. He's going to jump down 10 feet like that. See if he's good at acrobatics. I don't know. I should look that up before I made him do it, but oh yeah, he's nimble. He got a 28.
Oof.
I'll turn off my secret rolls because I realize you can't see that one. But he got a 28, and he is now here, and he's not flanking, but he's going to attack Vors. Missing. Even if... yeah, he's missing. Anyway. Bob, the Zoob.
Bob wants to get off the horse.
Okay, it's a move action.
Sure. So Bob's gonna get off the horse. Then I'm gonna 5-foot step over yonder,
Sure.
and then I guess I'll smack at number 4.
Sure. You get 1 attack. Only your best one.
Jesus.
18. Roll
Wait,
your
I'm not
fire
that-
and your smoke. Oh, I'll do your smoke, I guess. 4 fire. Yep. That's not good for him. Alright, Brigand 3 goes, and it's fighting Fufu in the south. It's going to try to cut at Fufu. It's going to try to move a little bit and slice at Fufu. Missing horribly. And Fufu's a skeleton, not a zombie, right?
Correct.
So she has bludgeoning damage. I don't think I did that right last time, but anyway. Brigand 2 goes, and fighting with Lee is not making him happy, but he does see there's a potential flank, so he's going to step over his fallen friend over here. Just going to move that corpse out of the way. And they're going to try to flank Vors as best they can. 24. Oh, almost a threat, but no threat for 5. And they have... do they not have sneak attack? Is that true? They do. Alright. They have 2d6 sneak attack. 11 on Vors. Boom. Alright. Fufu.
I guess Fuku's gonna unload on Brigand 3. This.
That is a hit for 7.
And then
That's
that.
that's a grab.
And then and that.
Those are both hits for another 17. She is still alive, barely wiggling in your mouth. And we're back to Brigand 5, who is the one bleeding death on the ground. So I roll one of those d20s. And -4. That might actually be enough. I'll look it up while I'm doing other stuff. Iwan, your turn.
Okay.
I went
so what
some
do we got?
alive.
This- Yeah. Let's see. I guess she will. Let's send one missile down to 3. Do the missiles have to be in the same direction?
Nope.
I don't
Just
believe
the
so.
people
Okay.
have to be within 30 feet of each
So
other.
we're gonna do one down. They're all gonna come at the same time. So one down at 3, basically just to like knock it unconscious, and then the rest will go to 4.
Yeah, that's not going to work. They have to be within 30 feet of each other. So they can be in
Each
different
other.
directions.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. So
That's fine.
it's a good bastard.
Then let's just do all of them at 4.
All right.
Shouldn't hit for enough to kill him. That
8, 10, 13. Pop, pop, pop. 4 is bleeding to death on the ground. Bloop, 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 bloop. I can put this state on him. Boop. All right. So you can move if you want, if you haven't already. Brigand Sorcerer goes, and she's prone with Nero. Are you armed, Nero?
Yeah, Morningstar.
Oh, really?
I find it very distasteful, though.
She's going to try to cast a spell anyway, so go ahead and try to smash her.
Okay. He's going to swing non-lethally, so he'll take a -4.
Alright, she's got a +4, or whatever, she got a -4 from being there. So you got a 14. That's not enough. So
Figured.
she's prone, and you got a -4, so yeah, so she rolls, and you manage to not hit her. And she is getting a spell off. And she chooses that corner of her square, and she is casting a color spray like that. Blam. Make a will save, Nero and Iwan. Damn it. Double damn it, I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
We got 8 hit dice, too, so...
Oh. Yeah, I should have been smarter than that. But yeah, so you both made the save, and you have how many hit dice?
8.
6 or 7, yeah.
Or 7.
Yeah. So yeah, you ignore them entirely. So she could have stunned you, but she failed miserably. At least she didn't die yet. Lee. Full attack this time on Brigand 2. That's 28. Nailed it. He is dead. Dead. The second one gets his neck, and he just falls to the ground, bleeding to death. Just dead. It's Lee. Nero.
Iwan. Rein him in. Some alive, for God's sake.
he said 1.
And he's going to do... I assume the Brigand Sorcerer... Is the Brigand Sorcerer armed?
No, she is not.
He'll just try to stomp her out again. That'll probably do it.
Yeah, that'll do it with the numbers you said before. So roll 1d3 plus strength. But she's going to fall unconscious anyway. Ooh, wow.
So 3 plus 2. 5 non-lethal.
Alright. I'll just do that. She's unconscious. I'll give her the sleepy button. She's asleep. Alright. Brigand over here does not like what's happening. Pretty sure she's just going to run away. She runs at full speed, and she has to get across the river. But...
Foo-foo fetch.
Right?
Wait. Is the bunyip in the river?
No, the bunyip's not in the river. I don't know where the bunyip is, but
It's in your hammer tank.
Yeah, she is running away. That's as far as she gets in that turn. Because she had to not full on sprint because of the river. Fours. Are you running past her on horse?
Yeah, you want a ride check for that, or like what?
Yeah, because you jumped over or whatever. So yeah, you're fine. Okay, that's not
So,
good.
what's a single move for a horse?
I think it's 50 or is it 40? Let me see.
It's gotta be more than that.
There's a horse over here. It has a speed on it, right? A single move is 50 feet.
All right, so that's a double move,
All right.
and actually, I don't get to do anything now, right?
Sorry.
What?
What did you say?
I don't get to do anything.
You can take an attack. You just have a penalty. I'm pretty sure.
I guess I would just draw my bow and like tell her to stop, but she can't. Like she's not gonna make it.
Understood. Brigand 4. So we're back over here. Brigand 4 is unconscious and dying. And he doesn't die. He manages to stabilize. So I take that one off and I'll put this one on. Bob, the Zoob. That's a good intimidate. You successfully intimidated her. Robert.
I don't know. Bob really wanted to hit things in front of him.
Take one, leave me the others to question.
What's up?
Take one, leave the others for me to question. Is that fair?
Fine.
Fine. Then walks over to the sorceress and just bashes her for 14.
Death knell, maybe.
You can add fire if you like. She's dead.
Hold on, we're not done yet.
Why not?
Got that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so she's
Smoke.
she's
Don't
dead.
hurt the smoke.
You crack her skull open.
She becomes smoke.
She becomes smoke. Okay, I'll draw the smoke for you. Brigand 3. Let me draw the smoke before I forget. There you go. There's your smoke. All right.
I had a joke that I wanted to make if one was like alive enough, but
Sorry, one wasn't alive enough for you.
yeah.
Brigand 3 is in the mouth of Fufu, so she is going to try to get out, and I don't know if she's better at escaping or
Dying.
combat maneuver is better. Okay, so she's going to try to combat maneuver her way out of that. So her standard action is this. Nope, not even close, right? Not even close. So she tries to wiggle out and fails miserably, and that's it for her. Fufu, you've got a brigand in your mouth.
Can we say that Iwan and Fufu are on the same? Like, can she say something to him?
Yeah, you can always talk for free.
Okay, so she'll basically just like whistle to have him come over.
Yeah. Okay. He will.
So he'll basically, like with the brigand in its mouth, just come over to Iwan.
Sure. And she's hissing
And she'll basically tell
anguished pain the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, and Iwan will say, "Don't fucking move, otherwise the jaw comes down."
Okay. Toss me an intimidate check with a hilarious bonus.
I don't even know the intimidate button. I feel like I've never.
Like the snarling mouth.
Yeah, the snarling mouth. You can see it. Vor's in
This one, okay.
Yeah.
It's what you imagine Bob would push.
Just imagine your Bob. It's that. So it's that plus their hit dice plus their wisdom. So that, and I give you a +5. You just made it. Yeah. So you did intimidate her. She is scared of you.
Probably more appropriately the lion, but yeah, sure.
You're telling the skeleton lion what to do. So Brigand 5 is still bleeding to death, but stops. And Iwan, you want to do anything to her other than intimidate?
If I ready a spell, does that mean that I actually cast it? Like, do I lose the slot for it too?
No, only
No.
if you actually the trigger goes off. And even when the trigger goes off, you have the choice of not doing it if you change your mind.
Okay. Let me just see how far away I have to be for the spell that I have in mind. Well, okay. I'm gonna just click it to see what my range is, to see if I need to teleport over to get in range or not. But where are we here? I don't know where my spell went. Here. Oh, here we go. So 40 feet. No, I'm not going to. So I'll teleport to get in range for that.
Bam.
So I think I can go 70. Yeah, so that's good enough. Somewhere over here. And she'll basically ready that spell in case Brigand 1 like tries to make a move.
Okay. Lee, Nero, no one's alive near you. You know anything cool?
Lee's. She'll just call Lee over too. He's not doing anything.
Okay. Nero?
Is there anything that needs to be stabilized? Just the horse?
Just the horse. I didn't actually roll for the horse either. It might have stabilized itself, but go ahead and heal the horse.
Yeah. Nero will stabilize the horse before he brings it up without backup because he doesn't get kicked in the face.
Good call. All right. And Brigand 1 successfully intimidated, seeing all her friends die, and Vors just outran her and has a bow locked on her now. She throws down her scimitar and falls to her knees with her hands up. Do you want to do anything, Vors? You going to just assassinate her?
No, I'll just tell her to pick the scimitar up, turn around, and march back.
She nods, and she does so while staring at the ground. And she doesn't try to jump over the water. She just walks through it, defeated. And she walks back, and she sees Iwan, and she's just looking at the ground. She doesn't even look up at you.
You probably still see Thywin then.
Yeah, she notices you, but she's walking. She tries to walk past you, and Vors is clapping behind her.
With my bow ready.
Yeah,
So.
she's not trying anything. She's defeated, and when she gets back, she sees this zombie angel and a bunch of her friends dead or unconscious, and one of them alive, writhing in a skeleton lion's mouth. And she's in pain the whole time, but you see her she is trying to get out just because she's in pain. It's not like she's trying to escape. She's like, oh my god, get me out of this mouth. She keeps wiggling and blood is dripping from her torso.
Alright, so I tell
Can
Brigand.
somebody, somebody bop her over the head?
We just knock her unconscious? Somebody?
Yeah, does Iwan? I forget. Yeah, does somebody have like a club or something that they can just?
I have a sap.
If he gets get down off his horse and bash a woman in the head.
No, I'm just like I would tell Iwan to have foo-foo, like lift her up for me.
Present the brigand and from his horse. Yeah, you knock her unconscious because saps you can choose to be non-lethal without the -4 penalty. They're made for that. Yeah,
That's why I carry it.
Yeah, so she's unconscious, and Fufu drops her presumably.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you've got 3 unconscious brigands. I'll just line them up, and 1 awake brigand uninjured entirely, and a horse that's unconscious.
So Vors would or tell Bob to tie up Brigand 1 and then go over to the other horse.
Just calm the horse when I get it up, okay?
Yep. And then Vors would dismount. Leave Scarta over here, and then you want a ride check to help with the horse? Like, what do you want?
Handle animal check.
Ooh, I didn't expect that.
Calming down a horse that's just been shot in the leg a couple times.
You have no ranks and cannot use handle animal.
Oh, that's not good. Then you don't know how to handle animal. You've never done this before.
Can I just get onto the horse and then do a ride check?
You still gotta calm it down. You can't just ride it into submission. Like, I'm on here now. Shut up. Can
Come on,
anybody handle animal?
shut up.
What's up?
Can anybody else handle animal? Doesn't look like it.
I can't.
I'm surprised Bob doesn't have ranks of it.
That was what the toss-up was that I was talking about last session between religion and the other thing.
I see. Well, you took knowledge of religion, and you knew a little bit about your god this session. I'm proud of you.
It was the grown-up thing to do.
You rolled a 1, though. You got like a 5 on it. Anyway,
Don't you mean Magma Lord?
yeah. You're talking about Magma Lord's realm, right? Yeah.
So Nero will heal the horse, and we'll see what goes on.
I just like 1d20 it, or like.
No, you can't even. Like you just don't know how to calm down a horse. Like that's there are
That's
certain,
how that works.
yeah, there are certain skills in the game that if you don't have a rank in it, you haven't practiced, you just don't know how to do that.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I totally should just take 1 point in that.
Well, roll a d20 to see how well you do. Anyway, we'll just do that with charisma. Who are you healing? The horse with that?
The horse.
The horse is awake.
Do you want to try to force Brigand 1 to calm the horse down?
Ooh. Oh.
Can they do that? Let's see if they handle that.
Too late, probably.
Yeah, it's fine. You rolled. What's your charisma of yours?
My charisma or my charisma modifier?
Charisma modifier.
Dos.
So you got a 13. That's enough to make it not kick. It's definitely freaked out and hurt. But Nero's closed its wounds, and it's freaked out, but not too bad. And Brigand 1 will come up and try to... Yeah, Brigand 1 will, if you ask, will come up and calm down the horse. And she's much better at it than you are. Yeah, so the horse is calm. Doesn't seem to care that it lost its master. Alright, what do you want to do with your conscious and unconscious prisoners?
If you could bring them to me one by one.
Who are you talking to, Bob?
The gang at large.
Okay. You want the unconscious
Probably
ones?
not going to be.
Is Nero going to coup de grace them with his Morning Star?
No.
Which one? Yeah, so you just want the unconscious ones first? Is that what you're saying? Yeah?
The conscious ones first.
Oh, okay. So there's only one conscious one. She comes over. She helps you with the horse. And she still has her scimitar because Boris told her to pick it up.
You can drop that now.
Okay, she takes it out and drops it.
Nero basically regales her with the honorifics of what he is, the Order of the God Claw. You're a lawbreaker, but being that I am a Hell Knight, I do have some leeway in dispensing law.
And she nods without saying anything.
I think probably the first one of you that gives me the reasonable information I want will probably get out of here alive.
And the others, she stammers?
The others will face the law. There's a Hell Knight fortress a couple days' ride from here.
And she nods knowingly as if she knows that there's Hell Knights out there. The Order of the Pike, they don't deal with brigands, though. They're monster hunters.
It's true, but they'll be able to have a brig or have someplace where they can be sent for judgment.
She nods, and you're studying Brigand 1. Let me know if you want to make any checks, if you want to do anything specific with her. But yeah, you can study her.
He hasn't had a chance to start lying to us yet, so.
Yeah, she seems very scared. And she says, "What is this reasonable information you seek? What would you have me answer?"
You serve the Fane Prince.
She nods.
Where is everyone?
And she says, "They're all over throughout the forests." What do you mean?
I think you know what I mean. Where's the snake's head?
She describes where it is, and I'm going to take you to another map just temporarily. I'm going to take you to the Whisperwood map again. And she says that it is... She describes a bend in the river that you know, like you have a copy of this map, either Rosalago gave one or you bought one before you left town. And she describes a bend in the river that appears to be here.
Okay. What's a reasonable pronouncement for somebody who were thieves, that sort of thing, based on law and Cheliax?
It depends what they've done. Presumably, like based on what Vors knows about these people, I think he's the one who made the knowledge check earlier. Like they are, some of them are murderers, and murder is death. Like you don't know if these individuals are murderers, but this band of brigands has killed people on the road. But they've also just robbed them and let them go as well. So you don't know specifically, but there are murderers in their midst.
Okay. So let's tie everyone up, put them on a horse.
Okay.
All right, should I do a sense motive or a bluff check?
For what? Sorry, what are you trying to do?
Make sure to see like whether she was.
It's sense motive is what you do.
Yeah.
So it's opposed by their bluff check is how that works.
If they are bluffing.
If they are, yeah. If they're lying. If they're not lying, you get a sense. So you don't believe she's lying. You think that she's genuinely terrified, and that she believes Nero in that she thinks that the first person to squeal is going to get a better deal than the other people. And she doesn't have any honor that prevents her from saying, this is where it is. And she points on the map. Again, I put it on the map now. She describes it in this area. It still takes some doing to find. Like, it's a rough... She doesn't tell you exactly how to get there. But,
Right.
you know, if you explore that hex, you'll probably find it.
Okay. All right, Can we tie them up, load them on horses?
Yeah, you have an extra horse. You could... There's only three... There's 3 unconscious and 1... right? Yeah, 3 unconscious and 1 conscious. So are you letting Brigand 1 go, or are you taking her to Latu?
She's coming with us to the Citadel.
Okay. I would say that you could probably strap 2 of them to 1 horse, and then strap another unconscious one onto like the back of Fufu or someone else's horse, and then would you let Brigand 1 ride with someone?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, you can make that work.
Brigand 1 cute.
Let's see. She has a 10 charisma, so not especially.
All right.
You have my word for leniency if you don't do something silly like try to escape.
She shakes her head, and she's already been bound. I think Bob was tying her up. So she's...
As long as you guide the horse well, we get to the Citadel, we'll work something out.
Okay.
While you're saying that, Bob's horse goes backwards.
I love that mounted combat mattered and that you failed your ride check. It's good. Doesn't happen every day.
True, it's not every day.
All right, so you guys continue on your way. I'm going to take everybody, including the bodies you have with you, to the Whisperwood Overland map. I'm going to dump you to the side over here. Right. Boop. Okay. There's so many people now. All right, so you guys continue on your way, and you are going to G, and you still have like another hex. What's up?
Going to the G spot.
Heyo.
Take it easy, sir. Take it
Hey,
easy.
now, this is a G-rated show for everybody at home. It's not. We're horrible people. Yeah, so you have another day of movement left, so that you got jumped in the middle of the day, so you still get to go over here. And you have a pretty good idea where the Citadel is based on Rosalago's guidance. Let me make sure I copied Rosalago out of there, because I don't want to leave him behind. Rosalago, pop.
Any good loot?
Great question. So, right, I hope it's not standard. I think that these actually have Strider. So, they drank their elixirs of hiding, except for the one on the horse. So there's only 1x elixir of hiding. But everything else they have. And there were, I think, 5 of them? Let me confirm that. How many are dead? There's a dead brigand, and you have 3, so there's 4x of the rest of that. That's not English. And the brigand sorcerer had 2 potions of cure light wounds, a backpack, and a long spear, and a bunch of gold. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So
That's it.
No, that's fine. So 6 potions of Cure Light.
Do you want to split them up now, or do you care who gets them?
Just put them on Nero's sheet for now.
All right, Nero has them. Split them up in the group. We've got like 20 minutes left. I can't play too late today because Lauren's mad. But we can do some stuff. We can do some stuff at Citadel. So I'll take everybody, and I'll go to a Citadel map. It's not really a map, but here's a picture of a map. All right. You can spread out. There's a horse. Anyway. Yeah. So you guys wander through the forest. It's a little off the road. It's not like, right on the road or anything like that. But you know where it is, and Rosalago can help guide you. And you get to the Citadel. What is it called? Ordial. And you get to the main gates of the Citadel. Let me see if I have any words to read about it. Let's see. The spiked steel and granite tower of Citadel Ordial looms high above a flat, grassy clearing. Not exactly the same picture. The gleaming metal keeps curving, mathematically precise architecture contrasts starkly with the Whisperhood's endless acres of trees. So imagine this with more steel and more kind of gothic architecture. And you approach the main gate. What do you say? Who's doing the talking?
Anyone? Mind if I?
Cool.
There, you know these people, right?
So Nero will call out the appropriate Hell Knight stuff and ask for entry.
Okay. So when you ask for entry, well, you said the Hell Knight stuff first. Okay, so you identify yourself as a Hell Knight? What exactly do you say?
I'm Nero of House Nero, Hell Knight signifier of the Order of the God Claw.
Mm-hmm. And you're seeking entry into this place?
Seeking entry into this place. We're on our way to Sonara, and we need information about the surrounding area.
They say that we're sorry, Nero of House Nero of the Order of the God Claw, but we are, by order of the Paralictor, Lucan Orsolani, we are not opening the gates for anyone.
Orsolani?
He says yes, confusedly from the top.
As in Zara Orsolani?
And you hear, like, there's a pause for a moment while people are presumably talking above them, and like, yes? Who are you again?
I'm Nero of House Nero. Zara watched over my Hell Knight trial. We rescued her from captivity in Cantaria. I'd love a chance to speak to the Paralictor.
And there's a couple more moments of quiet before they do agree. They open the gate and they allow you entry into the Citadel. And as they open the gate, one of the Hell Knights comes out, and I have a couple of Hell Knight arts. So you can see there are these, and I think you should be able to right click on them and show handout. So this is the first time most of you, not Nero, have seen Hell Knights, and they wear like imposing armor, sort of like what you would imagine Bob is wearing. So they're all wearing these horrible things, and most of them have big pikes or bardishes and things like that. This is the Order of the Pike, and they have a lot of ranged weapons, and they're monster hunters. They go out in this clanking armor into the forest and slaughter monsters and devils. So you can see a couple of the Hell Knights as you're walking in. They're very big and imposing people. Bob, how do you react to seeing all these big, imposing people? Bob?
I don't know. I really hate this map.
It's not just. It's just background. I can turn it off if you don't like it.
No, it's fine. It's better than what you're going to do.
Anyway, so how do you react? Like, you're walking past these guys. They're letting you in, but they're all like eyeing you. You know, the ones that aren't wearing helmets.
Why are they? Like Bob? I guess we'll scowl at them.
Okay, you're gonna scowl at them as you come in.
Like, what were you?
Oh no, you don't intimidate a single one of them. One of them even scoffs as you try to scowl at him as you come in. These are seasoned monster hunters, and they're not taking any of your shit.
Bob says, "You know not my power."
Let's say also when they open the gates that Iwin kind of gestures to her undead to like sit, so she basically tries to show them that she has control over them, so they don't like these are monsters, but they're mind monsters.
Understood. Yeah, that is conveyed pretty quickly. They notice that they're following your commands, and you can tell that they're uncomfortable about them, and that they probably have killed undead in the past, but they're letting you in pretty much only because you mentioned Zara's name at this point. And one of them does look over Nero, and he does have a Godclaw shield, and he kind of just pokes you. He asks you a couple of questions, and you do the little Godclaw handshake stuff, and you make it known that you are an actual Hell Knight, and you claim that Zara witnessed your trial. So they summon Lucan Orkalani, the Paralictor, and he comes, and there's his little face. You can be able to show hand out on that as well if you like.
He looks kind of like Zara, doesn't he?
A little bit. They're pale, like that. Yeah, a little bit.
That's nose broken a few times.
Bluish white people.
Yeah, white people. Let's see. So you meet Lucan Orsolani. So he comes down and he bows deeply and somberly, and it says, "It is said that you know my sister."
Nero will address him with the appropriate honorifics.
Mm-hmm.
And basically tell the story. Indeed, this is how we met Zara, this is how we found Zara, and this is how we left Zara.
Yeah. And he seems like taken aback. He's like, we usually correspond letters, and she's been gone for a while. She hasn't. It's been months since I heard from her.
I saw her. What was it now? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Roughly, yeah, like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Saw her about 2 weeks ago. She was headed out of Cantaria. Got caught up in some ramshackle revolution. Just bad place for her to be at the wrong time.
And you see him, he grabs his chin, and he thinks, and he's very somber, he's very, serious and measured in his responses. And he says that sounds like her. She's always in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you can he's very pale and very, thin, and he has... Like Vors was saying, his nose does look like it's been broken in 3 different places. Like, that's the only thing that distinguishes him. Like, you would think him a foppish dandy based on his appearance alone if you couldn't tell that he's seen some shit. He's got these sunken eyes and this triple broken nose. So you think he's been around.
Foppish dandy?
Like, he looks like a foppish dandy.
Foppish.
Yeah, so he seems to think that you have seen Sarah. And he asked, where did she go? When you left her, where was she headed?
We had a disagreement about a library that I took in custody for the Godclaw. She didn't seem thrilled with us, but left town during the celebration of the town's liberation back to Thrun rule.
He nods again and says, again, that sounds like Zara. She was always one to burn her books. And he says, we have quite an extensive library here as well. I'm sure there are some tomes in here she would take offense to as well.
But very capable warrior, great shield maiden.
Certainly. And you guys go back and forth for a while, and you trade some stories about Zara. But it becomes clear to him that this did happen, that you probably are a Hell Knight. He says it's a tragedy what's happened to the Godclaw. But as the corrector said earlier, most of the Hell Knight orders have declared a strict neutrality in the Civil War. And Lucan confides in you, when everybody else in the room, I guess, as well, that their order is in no position to resist the glorious reclamation being so close in Sonara, and that even if they did declare loyalty to Thrun, they would be wiped out as your people were in the Godclaw.
It's a reasonable time to take neutrality for you, yeah.
And he says, me and my man here, and he's only the power lictor, so there is someone above him, the lictor. He explains that he's out on a hunt currently. But he's the power lictor. He's the one in charge right now. He says, we're monster hunters. We seek to civilize these lands and stop threats for everyone. And we wish not to take a side in this war.
And I'm not asking you to do so. I've brought some brigands we captured along the way. They gave me some information about where the Fane Prince might be found.
And you see, he perks up at that. Fane Prince brigands, you say?
That's what they told us. I don't have reason to doubt when I questioned her. She was terrified.
He smiles and says, "There's a bounty on the Fane Prince's head." And he gestures to a board like a couple meters behind him. Like you're standing out in the courtyard, and there's a big wooden poster board with a bunch of signs on it. And he gestures there as if to say there's a piece of paper there with his name on it.
How much is the bounty?
On the Fane Prince, the bounty is 5,000 gold pieces if brought alive.
Not dead or alive. That's
yes. Him specifically, they want alive. Yes. There are authorities in Remisiana that want him alive. Yes.
Just out of curiosity, while we're looking at the list, what's the top item on the list?
On the bounties?
Yeah.
Here you go. The Fane Prince, 5,000. Savage Mistress of Beasts, 3,000. Dead or alive. Bearded Devils, there's been 3 of them wandering around. Last seen along the river Islid in the Iron Snarl, 1,000 gold each. And Hound Archons in Scarhurst. These are the open bounties, and so their knights are allowed to take them. Like, they're given this money from people who want these things to happen, and they usually take them, but he offers them to you as well. He says, if you return to the Citadel with proof of any of these, we will award the bounty to you.
fair. Seems like a reasonable thing. I brought down a bearded devil myself, and we brought down Hound Archons. Shouldn't be too terribly hard.
He seems very surprised when you say that. A bearded devil yourself, and I assume you might have told him that already as part of the Zara story. But he seems genuinely surprised. Like, how did you manage that? No offense, and he gestures to your like lanky frame.
None taken. A lot of summons and trickery.
Trickery.
Wars would chime in and be like, technically, it was single combat.
Still, he's very impressed with that. But bearded devils are not easy pushovers. He seems very happy with that, and he says that there is a bounty for such creatures if you find them wandering around. There was a group of 3 or 4 of them wandering the forest that caused a problem for some travelers, and someone placed a bounty.
Fair enough.
And he does let you know that there are lots of devils wandering around. Especially in the Perdition's Reach areas. So if you were looking for bearded devils for the bounty, you might want to head down there.
Fair enough. Wouldn't be too tough to set a trap, find them.
He nods.
Not terrifically bright.
No, as clever as most fiends are, but not terribly bright for a fiend.
You don't have anything that could contain them here.
They don't have anything ready. There's not a permanent cell, but they do have clerics around that could certainly create a binding circle for one.
Just try to keep all the tools at my disposal open,
He shrugs. Says the bounty is dead. I that's how I would bring them.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I don't know if you'd like to question any of this lot. This one, I'm going to let go once we're done hunting the Fane Prince, but the rest of them are yours to do with what you want.
Okay, and he'll say, "I'm not sure if there's any bounties for these 3, but I'll take a look. They're probably not as worth much, but maybe someone has encountered these, and if not, I'm sure someone in Remisiana could see to using them as slaves."
All right. Well,
Blood boys.
what do you guys think? Are we headed straight to Sonara? Do we want to spend some time looking into these open bounties? What about
I want some GPs.
What about other creatures? Unicorns, maybe? Unicorns, angels?
Oh, yeah. So, let's see. There is a shrine to an imperial lord in Hellspawn Dale, where Azadas are known to defend. When you bring up like all the ritual components, so he says there's a shrine to he doesn't know, he forgets the name of some old like deity creature, not a god but like a half god, something the forest worshippers care about. But there's a pair of Azadas that defend a shrine somewhere in Hellspawn Dale. And when you say unicorns, he says somewhere near the Whispered Way in the Murmurs. So somewhere you might have kind of went past it, but further out into the forest towards the river. He's heard of a blessing of unicorn is what a group is called. There's a blessing of unicorn somewhere around there. And I'll take you back to that map. Let's see. I gotta do it over here. Alright, EF. And I gotta close these pictures now. They're getting jacked up. Alright, so you take out your map and he draws. He doesn't have exact locations, but he will draw. I'll draw with like red. So let's see. He says that he thinks the unicorns are like somewhere around here. I'll add labels in a second.
Where?
Can you see this red circle I drew, or does it not load?
I see it, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Let me do that. Okay. He says he believes that there are, unicorns there. He thinks that somewhere in Hellspawn Dale, he has a much bigger area for that one. Like somewhere around there are Azadas. Let me draw that unicorn circle better. Terrible. All right. And what else did you ask for about?
Unicorns, angels, Azadas, all that shit.
Okay. Angels, he's heard that Sonara has a graveyard. They call it the Old Boneyard. And there are rumors that an angel is guarding it now ever since their occupation of Sonara. But he hasn't been to confirm or deny that. None of his people have been to Sonara since the city fell. And the other thing are Archons. He says, well, there's Hound Archons in Scarhurst, as the bounty board says. And the patrolling knights of the Glorious Reclamation have known to have Legion Archons, Hound Archons, and some other kind of Archon I forget, that just travel with them throughout the woods. And if you bumble into one of their patrols, you might find an Archon as well. And I'll add some text. Alright. So those are what he tells you about. Anything else you want to talk about or think about?
No, not especially. Anyone?
I imagine next time we do some hunting while we wait for our friends to catch up to us.
Yeah, seems reasonable to me. Is anyone opposed?
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. Well, again, he seems like a kind of like a cold, emotionless leader, kind of like Zara was, and when you met with her. But he does offer to let you stay at the Citadel as long as you like. Again, mostly because you know his sister, and she seems like she likes you enough to witness your trial. And he'd love to hear more stories of what happened, what went down in Longacre, or sorry, in Cantaria, and what you know of her. Because again, he hasn't heard from her in months.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, so it's 5, so I guess we'll call it here. Anything else you guys want to wrap up or note for me to do during the week between sessions?
I did not get a proper goodbye to Cinnabon.
We'll do that. Cinnabon will get a proper goodbye.
All right.
I guess right now she's in Longacre because you brought her with you on the boat, so she's around Longacre somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe she's in a bathtub.
Maybe she's in a bathtub, or you can put her in this river. She could be anywhere in this river. She can just show up.
I don't know if that's freshwater.
This is freshwater stuff.
Oh.
She's a freshwater bunyip, not a saltwater river. That would be terrible.
She's in a saltwater bunyip.
All right. So, do we have a moral and an MVP?
There are a lot of morals.
All right. Well, go through them and let me know which one you want to go with.
Exoskeletons count, son. Bob always wants to sleep with Vors. He's dying in your mouth. Haste makes waste. Yeah, that seems like something Bob would do. She was a party bunyip and grew tired of you.
All right. Any seconds on those morals? Any votes?
I like either exoskeletons count, son, or Bob always wants to sleep with Vors.
I was thinking, yeah, that seems like something Bob would do.
That's a good one too.
Chris, Jeff,
Anybody.
opinions?
I'd probably go with the. Yeah, that seems like something Bob would do also.
All right, we'll go with that one.
All right. And MVP?
Vors was laying down a lot of waste. Iwan was stomping the yard. Her pets were basically stomping the yard on these fools.
All right. Anybody else, any other nominations? Did Nero or Bob do anything?
Bob for his ride check.
Bob failing to ride a horse?
I'd probably say Vors just on like murder.
All right.
Vors for murder.
/GM, go ahead, do your vote.
I already closed. I vote for it.
Yes. Okay, MVP is then Vors.
Thanks, guys.
Save the chat log history. And that's it. I will stop the recording. Thanks for playing, guys. We don't have a plan for the next session yet, but I'm sure we'll get the doodle updated and going. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thank you.